sure you're gonna fall asleep.
Well, either that or have a stroke, one of the two.
Yeah, both.
Well, I heard from a friend that energy drinks inserted anally are very effective.
They are. It's facts.
Hopefully, they're not carbonated.
Oh, you guys thought I was drinking it?
Right back.
I figured you had a mainline drip.
No, you just dip them in the tampons. Everybody does.
Mm-hmm.
Big in the Boston area.
So far, these infomercials are amazing.
I did like that last one. You know, put down the Moby glass. That was cute.
The previous one, what button is it the duck down? Alt F4.
Yeah, I joined just that one was going, so I didn't quite catch it.
I'm trying to peep that Volt LMP.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna make a wild speculation. The new inventory system is gonna be previewed also.
I mean, it's pretty good, guys. They said they've been working on that motherfucker forever, right? They haven't really talked about it at all. It's a hot ass, man. My dark horse for this one is gonna be fucking control surfaces.
So I saw some. They're doing revamps of all the salvage gameplay.
Yeah. You gotta. All they did was plug salvage into the refining game. But I know that the Reclaimer got a bunch of quality of life improvements.
Good.
RMC price went way down.
The fucking main elevator has a actual cargo grid now. It's not working in the PTU, but it does have a cargo grid.
The back elevator, you can actually
Goes
put
down
boxes
farther.
in it.
Yeah, it goes down farther now, and you can reliably use it from the inside. Oh,
Back elevator?
even bigger.
17 minutes.
Docking
Shit.
for the docking collar on the ship actually works now, so you can dock the Reclaimer at space stations.
Oh.
Sick.
But is that actually useful though?
Probably not.
Yes, it's mega useful.
MAGA.
I mean, is there gonna be auto unloading or?
You know how much of a pain in the ass it is to refuel most of the time?
Yeah, but how much of a pain in the ass it is to unload that ship to begin with?
Who cares?
care.
Thing's awesome the way it is. Okay, it just needed some love.
I'm low-key
See,
hoping for an auto unloading option when you dock
I
like
just
that.
want. I like when ships are quirky. The Reclaimer is quirky.
Wait.
Yeah. So the real question right now is, you know, if RMC price is going way down, is there any actual money made with salvage?
You could have.
Because even before the price drop, like it was most money made was on shit you got from drops.
They averaged it out, I think. They did like a rebalance on commodities and shit.
Until craftsman becomes a thing, though, commodity prices aren't going to mean anything, though.
Yard on Daver. Now, some people think Brios is still a rough and tumble kind of place, but that just
I'm
ain't
also
true,
curious to
Bo.
see if, like,
Brios is a safe environment with fun for the
how
whole
they're gonna do
family.
money making.
And we don't just sell gently used spaceships. We also
Are they
do
gonna?
ship repairs, ship detailing, ship paint.
Is it gonna be like it is now, where like just doing
So
raw
when you need your
missions
next
gives you
ship
more money
upgrade,
than doing
you
anything
come on down
else?
and you tell Scooter sent you. Y'all have a good
Or
evening.
are they gonna nerf the shit out of that, so that way they force people to not only grind for rep,
Yeah, that
but
was funny.
do professions for money?
Got it, Mama. You alright?
'Cause if that's the case, I don't even know what profession I would try for. So. Definitely not fucking cargo hauling. That shit is not for me.
Rami, are you in the Kaiju Discord? You can jump in VC if you want.
All you space truckers have my respect, but I'm not about
I don't
that.
mind it.
Sup?
I could see it being like very therapeutic. You just sitting there fucking with your boxes for hours.
What's up, Axon?
Just mostly trying to complete the whole download power data. I downloaded it, but the thing didn't seem to register it correctly.
Yeah, actually, I haven't even done the mission portion for it yet. I just be farming the armor.
That's what I've been trying to do at the same time, just complete the missions, because I'm a little bit strapped for cash.
Right.
Isn't the bounty mission still in there for cash? The ones they put up a long time ago?
I don't know, I'm broke as a joke. I just get on to PvP.
Yeah, that's why you're broke.
Yeah, exactly. 'Cause I keep spending it. Though I
haven't
have...
been on since they changed the cost. There's a cost now, right, to respawn?
Yeah.
Well, yes and no.
Yeah, I mean, it's like if you claim the ship, it gets refilled with med gel. So, it's kind of pointless. But, like in any one... like if you're fighting at an executive hangar, generally you're only going to have a few respawns available. But, I mean, if you have multiple bed, like if you have an Apollo and you have all the beds full, you could probably respawn like 9 times.
I haven't even looked at the Apollo yet.
I think you can do 12 if you do it proper.
Probably.
100 respawns got me like 4 hours for me.
It just gotta have some fun.
See?
It's got like what?
He's wearing the Xeno threat arm. What the fuck? Not part of ASD.
When the light comes back, you're already gone.
I think we're gonna get the Perseus today. Probably not, but
I was literally about to say,
Opium.
I shit you not, Meta. I literally was just about to say, if anybody thinks the Perseus is coming out today, you're coping.
I'm coping for sure.
Well,
100%.
That or Paladin.
Well, so
Don't
the
get me
Paladin's
wrong,
been
I
having
hope it does.
issues.
I hope he's right. I want to be wrong in this situation.
So the Paladin's been having issues apparently. So that's why I don't think the Paladin's gonna drop. I know that Perseus is gonna be like the whole IAE flagship kind of thing, but at the same token, they also said they weren't gonna drop the Idris until Squadron 42, and now the verse is full of them. So I don't trust a damn word they say.
Okay.
I'm hoping
What
to
up?
see some base building shit though. That's what I'm hearing.
Oh,
No
that
way, dude. No way, dude. If there's anything on base building, Angela will be fucking sliding off her chair. She'll be so wet.
The Pioneer is released.
I wish.
That would be crazy if they just dropped the.
Kay
Honestly,
instantly ascends to another plane of reality. She's like,
Basically.
my time has come, you cucks. Bow before me.
Basically.
That's a big fucking ship too. That
We're
is
not
such a
Yeah.
ready
big
for it yet, though, in the
fucking
game.
ship.
It's literally like the same size, if not bigger than Idris.
I
And
think
I'll
we'll see
never
the
fucking
Rapture
fly it.
first.
Yeah, but see where the like lengthwise, yes. But that motherfucker is way wider than the Idris.
Oh yeah,
It's literally
Lengthwise.
just flying brick.
Yep. And I'll probably never fly it. Somebody else will have
So
to.
what you're saying is you can't fit it in the hangar.
Probably
Only
not.
docking.
Probably.
I don't know. I don't know if that thing will go in a hangar.
Like, how do you take down a planet? Or can you?
Well, look, you got the power of the world, human's greatest invention, right at our fingertips. Who makes that? Outland?
Yeah.
Well, they mentioned a while ago that large ships will only be spawned from space stations.
They say that. But you can spawn a bunch of shit on the planet right now.
Okay, so 247 meters long, 133 width. Now let's look up Idris. Or what were we comparing it to?
That was pretty sweet.
Idris.
Yeah, Pioneer to the Idris. And the Merchant Man's gonna be a tall boy, but it'll be roughly the same size and length. If they ever get that one finished too.
Okay, so I see why the width is similar. So if we take the width, the widest point of the Idris, and then just think of a square going forward, that's how big the Pioneer is going to be. So maybe it could fit in the hangar.
No.
No, I don't
Well,
think it
Idris
would.
can't fit. No.
Yeah, I don't think it would.
No.
But they're pretty
No.
similar in size. The Pioneer's like wider and longer than it, but like only by a cut hair.
They better give us at least one good thing out of all this.
It's
Babe, you got 7 minutes if you gonna watch this.
Have you ever seen a sitcom? They're gonna give you a lot of good stuff. It's just whether or not you're gonna see it anytime soon.
Right.
But that's what I
Every
mean. They better
sitcom
give
has
us
good,
like at
dope
least one
shit.
good thing we're gonna see soon.
Granted, they said this, but I believe everything that's shown in here is supposed to be within game within 12 months.
That's what they said last year.
Yeah, I know. That's why it's like,
Also, kind of shady. We're not getting anything for Squadron 42 at this fucking event.
I'm actually happy about that. Controversial hot take. The game I play right now is Star Citizen. I don't play Squadron 42.
Nobody asked for Squadron.
I mean,
Squadron
fair,
42 is a
fair.
single player, and this is the game we have. This is what I want
I
to see
know.
shit on. You know what I mean?
I feel you, but the thing is, that is taking resources away from the thing that I really want. I want that fucking game to be done, for fuck's sake, so they can put all the teams on Star Citizen.
Absolutely.
They should have never done Squadron 42 IMO. They should have just focused all their
I was gonna say,
resources on Star Citizen.
imagine
Chris
if there
Roberts
wasn't.
he loves it too much.
Yeah, I know, but imagine if there wasn't a Squadron 42. How further along we'd be. Star
I
Citizen
don't want
wise.
to think about it. This game's already depressing as it is.
I know what the ship was going to be. Merchant Man.
Bro, people would lose their fucking minds.
If the Merchantman
Merchantman
surprise
owner-
dropped,
Ray would lose his fucking mind if the Merchant Man came out.
Yeah.
And you
Emperor
had the ability
Weeb
to sell
would.
stuff on your own ship.
Oh, the elevator.
Merchantman owners are like, they bought that shit day one. Like most of the ones that own one. They bought that shit
I
day
have one.
fucking over a decade ago.
I have one.
See, I want the Perseus. I don't even have a Perseus. I just want it to be out. So I can jump on
There's
my
gonna be,
friend's
like,
Perseus.
40 of them.
I know, that's why I didn't buy one. I'm like, there's no point.
I swear to God, if they release any new ships during this shit, and none of those ships are ships that have already been purchased, they're going to piss the entire fucking player interface off.
I'm thinking
Well,
we.
Phil,
Yeah. No, go for it.
well, Phil told you one laser kit.
Probably. I bet you we will see a wolf variant.
I want my wolf laser kit, okay?
Yeah, that's definitely a thing, 100%. Another thing I kind of hope we see, I don't think we will, but the mention of that battle cruiser, the last concept ship that they plan on selling, the most expensive ship. I want to see that thing.
You might be right. Hey, we'll know how broke CIG is by how big the ship is that they sell, that they reveal this year.
I know.
If it's like a capital class, then you know shit's dire.
Well,
They're like, oh, fuck.
they said
Buddy.
if it's that battle cruiser, apparently the battle cruiser is supposed to be the biggest ship you can buy. I believe was the quote. So
The Bengal was gonna be the biggest.
well, no, the Bengal's the biggest, but remember they said you can't buy the Bengal. The Bengal has to be built at the space station. They said they weren't going to sell the Bengal to anyone. That has to be
It doesn't
completely
need to be anything
built.
bigger than the Bengal. The Bengal's already retard like big. Like
Right.
It's so fun. Like I know people don't. It's hard for some people to get a good grasp when you watch that video from Citizencon.
Mhm.
That thing is fucking insanely big.
Yeah. It's twice the size of a javelin, if not a little more. What else? But remember, there's that second version of the Bengal too. There's the Bengal carrier with the topside giant engines and the lower ones. But then in the Squadron 42 cinematic or whatever, there's another version of the Bengal that doesn't have the giant topside engines and looks slightly smaller. Like, I think that might be the, what is it called? The battle cruiser. I think it might be a version of the Bengal. I just don't think it will be the Bengal carrier. If that makes sense.
Cool.
Because that's already
Bengal's
done.
the biggest one.
Yeah,
I just
well,
don't know how this game's gonna handle like
right.
ship that big.
One day.
3 minutes.
What if the grand reveal is Chris Roberts coming for like the big thing for CitizenCon, you know? He comes out and he's like, all right, I know you guys have been waiting. We're proud to announce Flight Blades.
Jesus Christ.
No, hope not.
You imagine if that happened? That should be so fucking funny.
I'll grab. Come out now. Sorry, we're putting Chapter 11 by. We're done.
Flight Blades for the Idris.
New item, mop and bucket. You can mop the floors on the Idris.
Flight blades for the Hornet MK2.
See, I'm so excited, and I know I'm just going to be let down.
So you've been here before.
Like, there's going to be so much cool stuff, and I'm going to be like, oh my god, this is so cool. I'll see it in 6 years.
Fuck, last year's CitizenCon, after watching that fucking crazy ass presentation,
Yeah.
Ask Angela, I was bouncing off the fucking walls. I was like, oh my god, is this space station? Space station? Space station?
Oh, so was I. So was I.
So yes, the
Then there
Bengal
was-
is 990 meters long versus the Javelin, which is only 475.
990, dude.
Yeah, it's literally twice this. It's twice the length, and I'm pretty sure it's twice the width too.
990.
Like, it's a big fucking ship.
So much room for activities.
Imagine trying to walk around and repair that damn thing.
Maybe they'll
Right,
drop the
that's-
Pegasus fleet
That's
carrier.
a whole org. That's a whole org.
Yeah, that's the entire Oregon one ship.
It would be a shame if someone decided to be a terrorist that day.
Right. Well, they added the weight thing, so I don't think you can just ram ships and blow them up anymore either.
I'm surprised
Well-
they wouldn't have like suicide vest for players.
Unless you're gonna ram it with a javelin, that might do some damage. But...
As a merchantman owner, that is one of my biggest fears. Them sending themselves to shucked up and just flying right into your ship.
Mhm.
Let's go
get your hype levels up so we can be disappointed. Let's go.
And I think that's why it's not really. I mean, I know there's a lot of other reasons why it's not out yet, but I don't think they have like the ship security yet in order to be able to have a marketplace on your ship. Because, like you said, what if somebody sneaks on your ship to buy something, but then they go to the. They need to have like NPCs or indoor auto turrets that, you know what I mean? Oh, here we go.
Well, they gotta do an EVE Online.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, refresh your shit if you hit the starter for you. He's talking.
Deliver a universe with incredible detail at massive scale, seamlessly, and where thousands of people can all play together. Server meshing has been working pretty much flawlessly at scale for the past 9 months. It has brought a more populated and active verse with up to 700 players online and in the same space at once. It's greatly increased server performance and delivered a much more responsive player experience. I couldn't be prouder of the team. They delivered something no other online game does presently. There may be other games out there that claim large player counts, or even the ability to mesh, but none do it at our detail, scale, and seamlessness. Of course, there will be continued improvements to server meshing and to Star Engine, but having moved past this last big technological hurdle has allowed us to finally focus on quality of life and stability improvements, something that has long been overdue. We're about to deliver our 9th patch in 10 months, with content that has brought Star Citizen storytelling into new and exciting directions. We pushed more than 24 features and more than 2,000 bug fixes. And while there is still a long way to go, the game has gotten more stable, performant, and fun as a result. We see this in player metrics. More of you play every day. The daily average users is up 45% from last year, and your play time is up 15%. So more people venture out into the verse and stay there longer than ever before. And through all that, we've told the dual stories of the Frontier Fighters Assault on Pyro and the moral compromises being made to combat the regen crisis. Now, as those stories come to a rest for the time being, it's time to look forward to the next chapter of Star Citizen, where the instability in Pyro and the callous actions of some pave the way to new adventures, new locations, and new threats. Last year, we announced our next Star Citizen would be Nyx, home to the People's Alliance of Levski and bordering the Vandal threat. Today, we're proud to share that your adventures in Nyx begin not next year, but next month.
Next
Star
month.
Citizen's third system comes online in Alpha 4.5.
Let's go!
2 new systems in 1 year. That's only possible because of the tireless work of our development teams, server meshing accelerating what's possible, the support teams behind the scenes, and most importantly, all of you. Now, I do miss that we're not all together under one roof this year, but in many ways, we're more connected than ever. Across the globe, many of you are gathering at watch parties, 9 of them with our developers in attendance, and countless others springing up in communities everywhere, and all happening simultaneously today. So even if we're separated by oceans and continents, we're bound together by the same passion for space, for discovery, and for this incredible universe we're building together. Whether you're at home or alongside your crew at a watch party, grab a drink, sit back, and let us take you inside our up-and-coming plans for the next year of Star Citizen.
Next fucking month.
Levski.
That's crazy.
All right, cracking the ribbon open. You told us to, right?
I'm hyped.
I
Dare I
mean,
say
it's
it.
already done. We get a new system next
Yeah,
month.
they could end it now, and I'd be happy. I'd be like, all right, bet. That's great.
That was a good opener. Hopefully we get more.
That was a phenomenal opener. It's all downhill from here, folks.
Sweet.
I mean, with all due respect, this guy is cool as shit.
With the
But he
foundational
also looks
technology
like you
now in
shouldn't get
place,
him wet after
the
midnight.
content development of the game is no longer restricted, allowing us to forge ahead with building out our first 5-star systems. Nyx will see the much-loved Levski landing zone added back to the verse, while also bringing you one of its most iconic landmarks, the Glacian Belt. Here, you'll experience a new combined arms operation that will introduce new factions and new adventures for you to discover. With this edition of our 3rd star system, we're also going to do something that's at the heart of the entire Star Citizen experience, and that is to build it right in front of you. As we have done this year, with the addition of several major locations, such as the Hathor facility or the Lazarus complex. We will continue to unveil new Nyx content throughout the year. It's a slightly different approach to how we deliver Pyro, but we feel this gets the content into your hands sooner and shows our intent as we continue our march towards 1.0. I'm so incredibly proud of the work our teams have done and are continuing to do, and we're excited to have you on this next step of our journey. And as with any journey in Star Citizen, that begins with a little story.
Story time.
In 2025, we introduced two major storylines spanning multiple patches, creating a living backbone for adventure across the universe. The first was Pyro Must Burn. It connected Stanton to Pyro and introduced the Frontier Fighters, who are relentless, brutal, and determined to wipe out any threats that cross them. And with this month's release, you'll now take part in the conclusion to that storyline. The second was Science Run Amok, with the Regen Crisis throwing the Empire into chaos, and you all jumping in to help the various corporations respond. Through that journey, we pulled back the curtain on ASD and its shady practices, uncovering long-forgotten Onyx facilities, and met new characters like Dr. Logan Yorit and Detective Arkham Meller of the Hokro Agency. And just like the Pyro Must Burn storyline carried us into a new system, Science Run Amok is now setting the stage for Nyx, the next step in the larger story we're telling on the road to 1.0. As this new chapter of Star Citizen begins, let's hear from just a few of the team members working to bring this next era of our universe to life.
When the Nyx system was first discovered, the United Empire of Earth, the UE, came out and did scans and kind of found out that the system wasn't really worth settling. The planets were too hard to terraform, the resources were too tough to get, so they opened it up. And one company saw opportunity where the UE didn't, QV Planet Services. And so they expanded into the system and tried to mine as much as they could, making a very slim margin by the sheer quantity of resources they were pulling out.
The system itself sort of ran its course from sort of a large corporate interest perspective, and then was mostly left abandoned.
Now this ended up being the ideal situation for the People's Alliance, who were a group of revolutionaries who were trying to overthrow the dictatorship of the Messer regime that was going on in the Empire at the time.
So they went to the Nyx system and established what became known as Levski. They wanted to make it everything that the UEE wasn't at this time.
They set up what they saw as their ideal society, where everyone's voices would be heard, where everyone would be equal. But they've fallen onto hard times. So Nyx today is kind of at an interesting point in its history. Now that the UEE has kind of transformed itself into a democratic society, what is their role? What are the People's Alliance rebelling against? And they still see the Empire as being inherently unfair. They see their role as still trying to create a free and fair society. But on the other hand, they have more problems than ever, and there's new threats lurking around every corner. And they have to ask, are they prepared to handle that? Or do they need to turn to the UEE for help?
Mando.
Making a star system is you approach it from kind of two angles in a weird way. What is this system bringing to the gallery? How does this new system plug into it, and what does it bring to the table from a sort of a flavor experience? We want to make sure that whatever it's bringing to the company is unique and has some flair to it.
So the Nyx system is a remote system where people want to go and live free outside of the pressure and influence of the UEE. It's a remote and rugged system with a lot of hostility coming from the ever-present threat of Vandal.
It's kind of like a frontier-esque thing. It's not lawless like Pyro, it's just kind of out there. Pyro's more like a Mad Max wasteland, and Nyx is more like Silverado or like Deadwood, right? It's kind of like a smaller scope.
The emptiness and the loneliness is the defining factor. You're still going to find gangs, you're still going to find hostile presences, but it's where people go if they want to live off the grid.
The People's Alliance is the main peacekeeping force in Nyx.
They were unhappy with the direction that the Empire was going under the Messers. They got out. They said, we're just going to start from scratch, build our own society, but build it the way that we think it needs to be built.
They're not perfect. They're just people, but they're doing their best. They want to help keep Nyx safe and make it prosper.
They are trying to do the best that they can, but are faced with the realities of dealing with people, which is tricky.
The Pyro Star is quite a warm star. Stanton Star is quite neutral. And the Nyx is a little bit cooler. The system has its star, and it has this dark, really, really dense gas, sort of nebulous cloud. And it has points of light scattered around it, and those points of light in this gas cloud is really, really hazy. So because Nyx is bordering Vandal space, it was important that we have a gap in the Nyx gas cloud where you could sort of just, in between the clouds, see a piece of the Vandal space. It feels so close that it's even like protruding some red light. The level designers are using it as an actual visual indicator of where to place more dangerous POIs. So if you point your ship in the direction of it, you should find, as we build it out, that you will be in more and more danger. And I think that's really cool. To give more atmosphere, I was testing out adding some sort of space snowflakes, essentially. So when you look towards the sun, you can sort of see that sort of like sparkle. But then when you look away from the sun, you'll see the reflections and sort of like little glints of light. For the jump points in Nyx, we'll have 2 on this release. We'll have one from Pyro to Nyx and one from Stanton to Nyx. It should be going from Nyx to Castra, but we're essentially bypassing Castra temporarily. Hey, we want to make sure you can get there any way you want.
Glacian Belt is a huge asteroid belt that is in sort of the middle of the system.
Glacian Belt is a combination of a bunch of technologies that we already had. The asteroid fields we use for planetary rings and the gas clouds, and it's combining them to make something completely new that we've just not seen before.
It's full of resources that are still left unharvested because it's kind of a tricky spot for mining. It's not the easiest place to go, but that means that there's still a lot of opportunity for independent miners to go out there.
So the rocks in Nyx are a bit more sharp, like sorts of like icy look, rocky, cliff-like, very different from those in the Pyro and the Stanton.
One of the big differences too is all of that extra added movement that just adds a little bit of extra flair.
It's also a good hiding spot for people who are trying to elude capture, maybe set up ambushes, that type of stuff.
Always feel way more interesting flying in those spaces than just, through empty void.
And as we build out the Glacian Belt over the next year, lots of places to put new content.
Delamar is a very large asteroid in the Glacian Belt that QV Planet
Yeah,
Services
so much pirate
mining base
opportunity.
on that got taken over by the People's Alliance and renamed Levski.
Levski is our first and biggest social outpost for Nyx.
It's kind of like the place where you stop before you do your panning.
It looks so dope.
So it's kind of a San Francisco before you go out to the gold rush.
It's going to be the central hub for trade and hauling and all of the
Basically,
commerce
Levski
within Nyx,
is the
and
Grand
also
Exchange from RuneScape.
Nyx to other systems. But it does have a CD underlayer to it.
Basically.
over the years, you're sort of improving the generation method of those asteroids to culminate towards this specific point to make large, explorable location. When you fly towards the Levski, you see this huge gas ring around it, scattered small, mid-sized pieces of the asteroids.
Well, Levski is immediately apparently unique by the fact that it's a facility clamped onto the side of an asteroid. The breathtaking views of looking into the belt instantly gives it a unique charm and flavor.
As you approach, you'll initially see a very dramatic borehole that goes all the way through the asteroid. You'll also see, growing out from there and alongside Levski, there will be landing pads along what I'd call the spine. Lots of industrial pipes and transport systems to bring out the refined mining materials when it was a mining station.
Before, we were using an actual planet, so we had all of the space available to place all of these structures. But now it kind of meant that we had to create an asteroid which has the appropriate size to.
If we took the whole shot of the asteroid, you will see that there is an area
Whole
to fly
theaters are
underneath.
so erect right now.
We plan on bringing in whole sea gameplay. So this is exterior cargo elevators. So as
that's
a team,
cool.
you will be able to load and unload cargo.
There's a lot more movement on the exterior, such as the cargo trains going around tracks. It's now going to be fully EVA-able. There will be walkways around the main landing zone to
It looks
walk on
cool as
using
fuck.
gravity plates, but you can drift off and kind of go wherever you want. They can explore fully the whole place, which is great.
How many people are going to set their home to Levski?
Unlike the majority of anarchists living in Pyro, there are people here in Nyx that care.
It's not a downtrodden or derelict, dilapidated location. It has a sense of order.
But only where the People's Alliance has people living.
But we've had Levski before, and we've updated it quite substantially to be more in line with the newer features that have been put in since, but also visually, and there's been a lot of quality of life fixes that we've wanted to add and bring up to like a good standard for a landing zone.
Gracing the main lobby of Levski is a large statue of Anthony Tanaka, who was a child worker.
And was being worked to death, all of them were. And Anthony Tanaka just had a break and just said no, and stood up against the foremen, the supervisors, the managers, the guards, and was killed for it. And so he became a sort of a figurehead.
And kind of was one of the linchpin moments in seeing the fall of the Messer regime.
So if you take the elevator up to the top deck, you'll see the top view and the cargo area as well. So you can go through the cargo shop. You've got your normal kind of cargo needs. You'll have ability to trade and buy your tractor beam and other gear that you need. So if you were to die in the Nyx system, then one of the places you might come out from is the hospital in Levski, which is called the Mercy Hospital.
So Mercy Hospital is just basically, it's a local med station for all the residents of Levski, anybody traveling through the system. Again, they're trying to provide as good medical help for people as they can.
When you arrive at the HAB's location, you'll be presented with a lobby, elevator bank, and then you will take that transit to the HAB room. So within that room will be pods.
And that's where the original miners would have lived. They're not the nicest, and they're a bit messy, but they're a home for people in Levski. If you head down to the lower view deck, you'll go through into the Grand Barter, which is your main social
An
and
exchange,
commercial area
told
of
you.
Levski.
This is where you will see market sellers selling their wares. There will be stalls. There will be kind of more embedded shops.
And that includes things like corderies, which is your armor shop.
He's
and
talking about
also
hookers.
conscientious objects, which is for weapons. There's also one of my favorite places, Cafe Musée, which is where you can go down into some of the more rocky depths and grab yourself a drink, and you never know who you meet down there.
Or
If you
shadowing.
explore a bit more around the Grand Barter, there's other routes around and little side passages. There's another shop that's away from that area called Teachers.
Teach a Ship Shop is basically where you would go if you were looking to pick up a used ship, buy some ship parts, fix up your old ship, find some new stuff, sell some scrap.
We've closed up Dumpers Depot for Levski, and everything that used to be sold there will now be sold at Teachers. Another new area, as well as the cargo shop that we've added, is a refinery deck for Levski. That's where you can take your processed goods, not just from Levski, but from the rest of the Nyx system, and refine and sell those goods there. As a lot of the content in the next coming releases for Nyx is going to be mining related. So it's super important that Levski is a really nice hub for mining type of gameplay. So we're really happy to bring Levski back into the game. It's been gone for quite a few years now.
I think it really provided a unique environment of it's run down, but the people who live there love it and are working their hardest to make it a great place to live.
This is a location that has a lot of nostalgia for you guys, and we don't want this just to be a re-release. We do want you to go, wow.
It's not going to be as complete as Pyro was when it first came out, but it's going to be our first iteration, and you're going to be able to see it grow as we work on it.
Like with everything, we're always learning and improving and finding new ways.
I mean, is there anything more Star Citizen than just building the system while the players watch us build it around them?
It's going to add a nice dynamic to Stanton and be a much more calming of style system than Pyro.
The people that would have played it before are going to love to see this come back, and the people that haven't seen it before, it's going to be a great new location.
This is the first time that I'm going to be able to touch stuff and kind of bring my own content to the game, and that's really exciting to me.
Levski coming back into the game is a huge milestone personally for me. So I worked on the original quite some time ago, so seeing it come back and updated and improved and better is fantastic.
Just like you.
Wicked.
So we've talked about Levski, we've talked about Glacian Belt, but you're probably asking yourself, what's the new gameplay activity we're going to be doing? So let's find out.
Welcome to Nyx is your first experience in a new space station in a new solar system.
It's a mystery to be solved. There's things for the player to explore and look into. There's going to be some twists and turns, of course, some combat, and if you're lucky enough to survive, maybe some good rewards.
This is basically a continuation of kind of our ASD storyline. So in the closing out what we had called our Science Run Amok storyline, we had revealed that ASD had been procuring sort of very black market illegal stuff in order to conduct their experiments. So this mission is basically going to be continuing on that trail.
So the Navy has learned that illegal tech is being sold in the UAE, and they're hiring Intersect to investigate. Intersect Defense Solutions is the leading military defense contractor in the UAE. So the Navy contracts with them a lot for doing various kind of military operations that they don't want to handle themselves. We didn't want players to be working directly for the Navy. The Navy just doesn't call up random citizens and ask like, hey, if you're free, can you fly a helicopter? I guess as a player, when you can think about like, oh, where am I going to be doing missions that are capital ship battles or large fleet scale stuff or military operations, that's all going to come from Intersect Defense Solutions. Intersect have discovered the source of the illegal tech is in the Nyx system and an old abandoned QV Planet Services logistics station that's come back online.
So they want the players to figure out what's going on.
So when you come out of Quantum and you start your approach vector to the objective, you'll be weaving through asteroids, going through the glacial belt, and slowly the station will reveal itself. Now this is an old QV logistics station. It's pretty beat up, it's pretty derelict, but there's some points of interest that you'll spot as you go through. So the station itself shares design cues from old Pan Am stations found in Pyro. This architectural design found its way over to the Nix system as the system was being established. But you'll also see some additional design cues that QV planetary services were adding, so it's a nice transition architectural point. It's fairly skeletal in design. You'll see logistics yards and cargo yards, but also facilities pinned inside the asteroid, creating this network of facilities. You'll notice there's a Polaris near the main hub. It's not a normal Polaris. It's damaged, it's broken. It's not a standard corporate Polaris. So at this point, you should be asking yourself, who does this belong to? Away from the Polaris, you'll see struts leading to asteroid bases. Now, these asteroid bases are locked, so you don't know exactly what's inside just yet. But all of this comes together to form the playground for the mission to take place. So not only is this facility unabandoned, but it's also under attack from a surprising but familiar foe.
Yup, there it is.
Oh shit, son.
Oh shit. That's the Stinger. The Vandal Stinger, I bet.
The aliens have arrived.
For the first time in the PU, the Vandal.
Yes.
So the Vandal are a nomadic, very, very, very violent spacefaring race.
They've been striking out against outposts and such in the Nix system. They don't really know what they want, don't know why they're doing it, but it seems like whoever's running the station is really pissed them off.
Vandal raiding parties have been rioting in the system, and they're unaffiliated to any clan. There's small groups coming in and picking at them. But as time goes on, those raids are getting bigger and more frequent.
They'll be the scythes that you're familiar with, glaives and blades that we all know and hate, and a new craft for the PU, the Vandal Stinger.
Yep. That thing looks fucking nuts.
You will be contacted by some civilians on arrival asking you for help.
So at this point, you have a choice. You can either bug out, mission over, or join the fight. This will be the first time since the PU launched that you'll be able to fight against Vandal aggressor ships.
This fight will be intense. The player should be able to deal with them, but they will have to be prepared and they'll have to come back in to fight off this initial wave, and that won't be the end of it.
After you fight off the Vandal ships, the mysterious inhabitants of the station invite you to come on board.
Which INSEC sort of will encourage you to do because it'll help further their investigation against what's happening here, why these QV stations have come back online.
You dock your ship, you board the station, and it turns out the inhabitants here have a real surprise for you.
The player will be immediately ambushed.
Oh, that shit looks
These
sick.
guys are not your friends.
Of course, it's not going to be easy because the people that are inhabiting the station are going to fight you every step of the way.
The fight will be challenging, but this definitely will be the warm-up phase of this mission. This will be the players getting a sense of what exactly is going on there, who these new people are. They'll be in unfamiliar armor. They'll be wielding unfamiliar weapons. And we want you to get a sense that you are in a new place, in a new territory, fighting a new faction.
So after you survive this initial ambush, you get back in touch with Intersec, and obviously the question is, who are these people? Why are they attacking? Why are the Vandal attacking them?
At this point, there's more going on here than anyone thought. The directive from Intersect is to explore the station and collect as much information as you possibly can.
Along the way, you're going to get to explore some new areas.
It's not just the space station. There's the disabled capital ship. There's asteroid bases nearby with obvious installations there, other forces that the Vanduul have been attacking. There's a debris field.
Explore the locations in any order you want and try to find out who these people are and why the Vanduul are after them.
You'll find new clues. You'll find ways to solve the puzzle of what's going on at the space station and find out what kind of loot they have for you now that you've beat them.
And of course, this is a legally open station, so anything you find is yours to keep and sell, maybe even give to Wicklow.
Okay.
This isn't just a one-time event, this is a permanent sort of mission that we're going to be adding to the game.
You can go back and repeat this mission and find ways to do it even better, even faster.
There'll be a different story and different flavor. Obviously, we can't have the same thing happen every time. There'll be other missions that Intersect will offer to you based on the evidence that you found.
Now you know the real story, and you can start digging and giving more information to Intersect along the way.
I'm super excited to finally see the Vanduul in the PU.
I'm excited to bring cool Vanduul ship combat to SC.
Players in the PU will now get to face down these awesome ships and get a taste of like we already have it in Arena Commander, where you get to fight the Vandal Swarm, and being able to do that in the PU is going to be, I think, a heck of a lot of fun.
It looks really cool, though.
So this marks a great milestone for us for
What is that, a heavy fighter? Vanduul heavy fighter,
great
probably?
content this year.
It
We're
has
also
to be.
being able to introduce the next star system and introducing the next landscape to tell new stories and add new gameplay beats into the ever-expanding universe. So we'll leave 4.4 there. If you're at one of the watch parties, please raise a toast to the great work that all the teams have been doing this year. And I'll be right back in just a few minutes to look ahead at some of the things coming in 2026.
This is basically the same as what we're doing.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Voyager Bar in beautiful scenic Orizon, where the staff of Cloud Imperium Games Manchester is gathered for their very own Citizencon Direct Watch Party.
Wallet hurting already?
As the dozens of such events happening at locations around the world, we've gathered today to watch this sneak peek at just a little of what the next year of Star Citizen has in store for everyone.
Paladin
or that was really good, everybody. I'm Jared Huckabee, your host for the festivities and for the show today. And let me tell you, it's not a joke. It's not a gag. Next week, we're hitting our 9th patch in 10 months. And then in November, we're going to finish out the year strong with the long-awaited arrival of the Nix system. And in case you missed it because you were chatting with friends, hi. It's not the lawless wasteland of Pyro many folks have been speculating, but an independent system with its own set of rules and laws and multiple ways to get there. It's an exciting time for everyone at Cloud Imperium Games because, as the architects of our persistent universe said at the start of the show, the foundational tech that we've been building for so many years has now unlocked us to bring more to Star Citizen than ever before as we continue our journey towards 1.0. Now, before we continue with the show, let's get a few housekeeping tasks out of the way. First, we're simulcast on YouTube and Twitch.
Because the sound
So
is
if you
coming
want
through
the
speakers
keen
and they're-
communities
it's
of
what it's picking
Twitch
it up.
or the 4K ultra high resolution of YouTube,
He's not
you have
actually
your
mic'd up
choice.
for the stream.
Second, throughout the broadcast today, we want to see and hear what you have to say along the way, and you can tell us on social media by using hashtag Citizencon. We're especially interested to see any photos from those watch parties that are happening across the globe, and we're going to find some way to bring a few of them into the broadcast later in the program. Third, we've also had a Citizencon contest going for people to create their very own slice of life in the PU videos, and we played the winning entries during our pre-show countdown. The offerings were super varied. The idea was to work with a team to show the life of a miner or a hauler or a bounty hunter or whatever. But one guy just said, I'm going to make a video about how awesome I am. And I respect that. So shout out Nocturnal Revenant. I don't remember if you were one of the winners getting an L21 Wolf from Kruger for their efforts, but you won the coveted Disco Lando Complete Narcissist Award. Good job. And to all the winners, I'm sure someone will either be in touch with you about your wolves or they'll just show up on your accounts. I really don't know how that process works. Probably
This
wouldn't
guy is
be able to find
actually
out
a
before the
pretty
show.
good, like,
He's so afraid.
Manager,
Either way,
you know what I mean?
if you missed the
Yeah.
free show and are
He's
curious
funny,
if you
too.
won, you can check the replay after we're done here today. All right. I just realized that my bosses, Chris and Sandy, are sitting in a movie theater watch party in Switzerland right now. A completely captive audience. So real behind the scenes here. This is especially torturous for Chris right now because he's super excited about the next segment we've got coming up. Aren't you, Chris? And you're just sat there right now, forced to watch and listen to anything I say. Do either of you regret that decision so long ago? All right, so I've probably pushed my luck enough. Let's get to the next thing. When Nyx arrives next month, it'll have Levski, the Glacium Belt, and the new Welcome to Nyx operation we just discussed. But throughout 2026, we'll also continue to build the star system out with new features and new technologies that will not only set Nyx apart and give it a unique identity from its sibling star systems, but continue to set Star Citizen apart from other video games altogether. Now at this point, if you're running one of the watch parties, you're gonna wanna crank your speakers up for some brand new music from the maestro Pedro himself, and let's take a look at some of what the next year has to offer for the Nyx system.
At Cloud Imperium Games, we believe art
hookers.
inspires the best technology. And through the development of that technology, it pushes us to create even better art. When Genesis comes to the persistent universe starting next year, it will change how you experience every world. And not just in the building of the new
Genesis?
planets for the Nyx system. We will also go back through Stanton and Pyro and reimagine them through the lens of our technology. Previously, and more traditionally, we'd create slices of biomes, like deserts or forests. This approach moved us forwards and got us this far, but solving the scale was always tricky. And for Star Citizen, we like to do scale on another level. Issues like seeing tiling from our height maps from high altitude, or the unpredictable blending when two biomes connected, were common. But ultimately, things just never felt right. Our worlds were gorgeous, but to us, they still sometimes felt like interpretations. Now this was a super hard problem, which we needed to solve at the scale for Star Citizen requires. We challenged ourselves to emulate nature in the most believable way, and not just on a planetary scale, but to our level of detail.
That's dope.
They know what we're here for, and I wish they
With
would
Genesis,
get to it.
we've made a complete paradigm shift to how we do things.
That
Biomes
looks
are now
sick, though, I'm not gonna lie.
based on the physical data sets.
That looks really good.
Yeah.
With the assets being spawned whenever and wherever the correct criteria is found.
And that looks good.
Yeah.
So when you see
I like
a
the
forest
mountains
or a
like
meadow,
that. They're so
it's no
close
longer
too.
because an
That looks
artist
really
painstakingly crafted it there.
More shit to run
It's
into.
now because it simply wants
Well, I'm
to be
thinking
there.
of ground ops or more
It
things
fits
that more
inside
cover,
our
you know,
walls.
ways to move through.
Genesis also ties
Ongoing
into our
aircraft
other
ships.
gameplay systems. Our new planets are built from the
When they were saying
information we
Genesis and, like,
create
the
from our
Starliner?
different data sets,
Right.
like height maps, humidity, temperature, soil types,
Damn,
soil
that
masses,
looks good
geology
rock.
erosion
Ugh.
data.
Look at that
to name a
fog,
few.
dude. That fog is so pretty.
This means you can now tell where to find valuable minerals as the
No Man's Sky
geology
shit right
looks like it would be suitable for it. Where scree piles exist below sheer cliff faces, and where rocks have broken off over time due to erosion. Of course, these new tools still give us the ability to direct the look and feel we want. The attention to detail from
being
the
in high
tallest
elevation.
mountain to the smallest flower is still our
What happens if I
core
pop
DNA.
it?
That's
Definitely an acid planet.
With Genesis, we can now keep that detail-orientated mindset
Oh my god, the swamp.
as we focus on the quality, and it provides the quantity.
Are we actually going to be? Are we going to be able to swim?
Genesis provides our
Right.
planets with
Good
the
question.
ultimate
Yoda.
sense of exploration and adventure, discovery in the purest emotional form. We want you to find that perfect place, with the planets providing an abundant resource to harvest.
Damn.
This
How long is this,
is a
con?
major part of what
2
exploration
hours.
is for us.
5.
We want that feeling of finding a corner of the universe that you'll fall in love with, and where you want to settle down and build your home.
Ah, he said it. Build your home. Base building. It's coming.
I'm going to hand you over to
Coming
Will
now.
to go deeper
Dropping.
into what we have built.
Pioneer release.
Genesis
Pioneers release.
realize
We're doing it.
As a reminder, some of the visuals you'll see will evolve and change as we continue our technological development and hone in on the final look for Nyx.
Thanks, Ian. So, in case it's not already clear,
Damn, this
Genesis
guy's
is our name for a
That
group
thing
of
was
technologies that are improving our ability to build worlds, refining those that we've already created, and ultimately expanding our persistent universe to the scale and quality that we all expect. I work on
Scale
planet
and
tech,
quality.
so let's talk about how that's continued to evolve since our presentation last year. And instead of just highlighting some really cool biomes that we can create, let's go
But he's got
ahead
an ingrown
and
hair
show
on
how
his
all
chest.
this work applies
I think
to
he's
the
angry.
upcoming planets
Nah,
of
that's a
Nyx.
bullet wound, dude.
So there are 3 planets in Nyx.
Size
Nyx
4
3
ballistic.
is a
Size
gas
4.
giant, and I think it's blue. It's not going to surface. I don't really know. Nyx 2 is a yellow, toxic. It's got like this high pressure atmosphere, and it's like a very volatile planet with high risk reward gameplay. It's going to have some really interesting biomes for you to discover, but for now, just know it's going to be dangerous, because today we're going to focus on what we consider to be the hero planet of this system. Nyx 1 has got a rugged, remote beauty. It's got a diverse set of biomes, from weathered rocky mountain ranges to vast sweeping forests and grasslands, and from damp, expansive wetlands to claustrophobic, festering swamps.
So that one planet has all those
These
biomes.
core biome concepts give us a fantastic platform
That's
to hone
crazy.
our technology. In some cases, because the current tech couldn't do them at all, or
Goddamn
because we want to
global
completely
warming.
step up our game for them.
Affected this thing, man.
So,
Beautiful
let's
green on one
approach this
side,
planet
like
in much the
that's
same way that
cool,
you, the
toxic
player,
on
will,
the other side.
from orbit. The orbit appearance of the planets going forward is far more tied to what is present on the surface. Previously, we had different data that drove the orbital and ground coloring. That's because the orbit was designed to look like vegetation that we'd place on the surface, and the ground coloring was trying to be a mix of soil, rock, and the organic compound coloring that forms the kind of colors there. Now we author much more of the data in a unified way. When you look at Earth, you see blues and greens for ocean and vegetation, and brown or yellowy tones for sand and soil. We wanted to keep it as simple as that. The same set of textures and data that define the color of the soil, sand, and rock on the ground are used to create the orbital look. We then assess the presence of vegetation and competition between different species on each part of the planet, and use that to blend in tones of green, including variations due to species health and the current season. This creates a far more complete image and allows you to identify features, geologies, and potential points of interest all the way from space.
Stop, you're making my eyes water.
Let's go down to the surface and start with something closer to what you're used to, but in a whole new light.
Mountain.
When we approached the surface of the planet, we wanted to start by focusing on just the soil and rock. One of the things that was missing from our terrain previously
real
was
nerdy
simply
shit, but I'm
feature
here for it.
complexity. Looking
Right.
at our contemporaries, we lacked detail at the ground scale. To combat this, we've added a new layer of data. That layer is called the medium tiles. These are intelligently placed on top of the existing 4-kilometer terrain tiles based on slope, soil type, and other erosion data. And these medium tiles don't just create height changes, they also bring in local erosion data
Oh,
both
night
for
vision
soil
too?
and bedrock size values. And this gives us a whole new level of terrain detail, of scale, and allows us to create far more unique locations across the planet. So now that we've nailed the surface, let's have a look at adding some rocks. We've now got two major
Somewhere,
contributors
there's
to the
somebody
rock
watching
content
this
of our
really
planet.
excited about
Firstly, long desired feature, cliffs. We are adding large scale, very detailed to all our cliffs based on the geology at a given location. This adds an exciting new dimension to steep slopes that we simply couldn't get before. The second is a big one for you ground vehicle enthusiasts. Rocks are now found not scattered everywhere, like spilt popcorn at the cinema,
die less on our hover
but
bikes.
only in places you'd expect to find them, thanks to a brand new rock scattering algorithm that isn't annoying as hell. Using physical data generated for each large and medium tile, now rock distribution makes sense and has a physical basis. So if you're still crashing into them after this comes out, that's on you.
That's funny.
The rock assets themselves have had a glow up too. We now create rock sets related to a particular geology that look like they originated from the same source. And this ties into how we'll be distributing minables in much more interesting ways too. So now that our base terrain and rock scattering looks good, let's add some vegetations and explore some additional biomes. Nyx 1's forests and grasslands are full of trees, various grass species, rock formations, and they're found in all sorts of elevations like mountain valleys, open plains, and dense meadows. And when we start to add a bit of fresh water, they begin transitioning into more wetland type biomes.
That is not fresh water.
Oh, yeah, no.
And while forests are super cool,
that was battery
let's
acid.
focus on the
Are you
grasslands
guys
and
watching the live
wetlands
stream, or
today.
are you watching Sweatos?
Live stream.
I'm watching the actual live stream.
For some reason I'm ahead of you guys.
How are we making these look so great? Obviously, we've had
like
grass
20
before,
seconds.
meadows
but
because I
never
can't hear
meadows of it. Because until now,
Yeah, I'm
we
streaming
haven't
my
been able to
audio to my
spawn
big screen,
grass
so I'm
in
watching
large
on
enough
the giant
quantities
I'm
or
just streaming it all on
effectively
Twitch.
represented at distance. So we're stepping up our game in terms of spawning, shaping, and shading grass.
Looks like good base
With
boss.
Genesis, we now
That's
leverage
what
GPU
I'm
spawning to
saying.
create vast
Right in that
quantities
mountain.
of assets across
Looking
all
confirmed.
biomes. Whether it be dense meadows or more complex collections of ground cover like you can see in these wetlands. We are also able to fit our grass tiles to the ground by conforming them to the unique terrain underneath. Now we can finally cover complex terrain shapes with grass and ground cover assets, and as a result they are now gravity aligned, meaning each blade is oriented as you'd expect and not sticking out like before.
That's kind of nuts. Not gonna lie. Great.
Next, let's take a look at how we light our grass. Now, as in real life, the shading of a grass blade, or indeed a whole field of grass, is lit very differently to like a flat surface.
I know
We
this
now
is
use a solution that
kind of
shades meadows of
amazing,
grass
but
far
this
more
is not
like
what I
fur
wanna
or
hear.
hair. And
Right.
this, if you think about it, makes sense. At a distance, a field of
Not
grass
not
is
in
far
this
more
much
like a
depth.
carpet
Like
or
they could have
cloth
done this in
than a
5
flat
minutes.
surface.
So look at we did.
This
Like, yo, we
improves
got
how
good
our grass
grass
looks
now.
from a near perspective, as well as bringing us
Like,
nicely
also,
to
you'll want
how
to
we're
invest.
solving the distant
You'll want to invest
representation of
in
grass.
a lawnmower when you start picking your
So
base.
let's talk about the distance problem.
They can sell you the lawnmower in game.
I'll buy a
One of
lawnmower.
our
I
biggest
think I'll
achievements
put a John
with
Deere in here.
Genesis is allowing us to build beautiful biomes out of flora and geology assets like a
Only
building.
Will
site.
zero turn?
with LTI.
Like, can I say Lego?
I just saw so many people like literally
late.
comment.
But in the
lawnmower
past,
gameplay on
this
YouTube.
broke down very quickly when objects simply disappeared when viewing the same biome from 10, 20, 100 kilometers away.
Way too much time on grass.
Yeah, for real.
Because we don't hide planetary transitions and allow you to view complex regions from very large distances, there are almost infinite perspectives from which you can
Starlawn.
see a location in Star Citizen. So, how can we afford to evaluate complex spawning logic at runtime for the entire swathes of the planet? Enter the virtual terrain.
Thanks for the follow, Spry. Can't believe you
Virtual
haven't
terrain,
followed
or
before.
VT for short, is how we now cache and represent our terrain. at
Whatever,
the
dude. Whatever.
This has been
You
the
finally
enabler of
did.
all of the lovely advances in terrain complexity and asset spawning we've shown so far. And it's also how we now evaluate and represent vegetation from a distance.
Oh. Okay.
When
That is
creating
cool.
the VT for each part
There
of the
better
terrain,
be a
we
mission
assess
that's
if
like collect
vegetation
these
has
amount
covered
of
the ground,
flowers on the
and
ground.
if so, what
Mhm.
shading should be applied.
Like
For
there
all of
better
our
be like a
biomes,
mission that's like
we're now
collect
able
this
to use
amount
the
of
same
flowers
shading model for the distant
or like grass
representation
or whatever
as the
to, like,
close-up
make
asset,
this worth
whether
it
that's our lovely rolling
for
hills,
the last 10 minutes.
some more dramatic rockscapes,
Okay.
those muggy wetlands.
Show me the Perseus. Come on.
Or even our festering swamps.
You're not wrong.
So yeah, we didn't forget about the swamps. And they're coming to next one as well. Built using the lessons learned and all the technologies we've developed, these swamps now spring into existence from the planetary data.
Bengal carrier for $6,000.
This biome combines all of the elements from the other biomes we've shown you today.
Take my money,
Water
Chris.
interaction,
I'm
dense
a
spawning,
Praetorian now.
neat ground coverage.
That's what's wild is
And I think
there's
it creates
definitely
something
people that
really
would buy
unique.
that shit instantly.
Yeah, if they sold personal planets and shit, somebody's buying it.
For sure. Oh, get your own planet for 100K.
Anyway, that's our update on the planet tech portion of Genesis and how we're
Thanks.
using it right now to sculpt
Sit
the
up,
identity of
right?
Mixball.
But what do you mean I'm sitting
And I
up
hope
right?
you're as excited as we are to explore this and everything we
Yeah.
haven't shared yet next year.
As you
all
can
this
see,
detail on
Genesis is
grass,
now inspiring
but the
everyone here to
Polaris
create
has nothing
planets
inside of it.
of the quality and
Mhm.
believability we've
How long
always
have you been here?
strived for.
Nyx is coming next month.
And meeting of technology and art,
Yeah.
No, no,
I
I'm looking
truly
forward to-
believe
that's gonna be
will set
awesome.
our worlds
Right.
apart.
No, I was talking to
from
a guy in my
anything we've done
stream.
before.
Yeah,
And with that said,
Nyx is
let's
dropping
move on to a
in
little
1
travel
month.
between systems.
New star system. And we're gonna be fighting Vandal, aliens and shit.
Up until now, our mission system has been specific to the star system you're in.
Yup.
Meaning a
Third
Stanton
star
mission
system.
has to take place in the Stanton system, and a Pyro mission has to take place there. We've never been able to link these together, but with the introduction of our third star system, it's time for this to change. And that begins with the introduction of interstellar cargo.
What are you talking about today?
System-to-system hauling missions. Hauling is back.
No one said Holly was gone. You guys even play the game?
What's up, Honky? I just told Alex.
These are exactly what we see
Rejoice,
on the
space
tape.
trucker.
We're getting
Started. So
getting the
Stanton
third star system
and
next
then
month.
Nyx, taking
Aliens and shit too.
various volumes of cargo between the stations. So there'll be high volumes of cargo that kind of fulfill the purpose for the Hull C and the other series of Hull
Interstellar
ships.
space trucking. Sign me up.
And there'll be a few sort of more direct routes.
That is cool.
So you
I'm not
might
really
pick
much
up
of a
some
cargo hauler.
Cargo from Ruin Station in Pyro.
That's dope.
And go through the jump point to Stanton and drop it off there at one of the Elios.
So if you've never sort of experienced the jump point or going through it, these missions will require you to. They're no way limited. You can do them in any sort of ship you want, any size
I'm
of
kind
ship.
of curious
I'll
how
be
the
doing your own
turning
live
is going to
Drake
be in a
cutter
whole C
myself between
when
Stanton
it
and
doesn't
Nyx.
turn.
There is no turning.
Just a Drake cutter.
I've got a few ships with a Drake cutter.
Yeah,
Really
going
cute,
through
so.
that jump gate's going to be hilarious.
I'll see was bad, yeah. We'll see.
One thing that we're looking to add with these interstellar missions is scripted combat encounters
ships
where you
handle
can
the
be
jump
attacked
point
by
pretty well,
NPC
though.
ships.
Oh, that's
Maybe
dope.
The mission giver has tipped off some pirates who are looking to get a hold of that cargo, as well as express missions, which means the deadline timers that you're used to in the regular hauling missions might get really tight and you've got to learn to be very fast. All of the love and care that has gone into hauling missions so far, with the logistical network and making sure they make sense within the themes of the systems, just as much love has gone into the interstellar missions we're making now.
That's dope. They said they're adding scripted attacks.
At the start of the show,
So you're
we
actually
said
gonna
we
have
was
to
going
bring
to
gunners
build out
with
the
you.
Nyx system right in front of you after
Or fly real
4.4
fast.
launches
Or
next
fly
month.
super,
And why
super
we want to
fast.
keep as much of what we're doing behind closed doors so you can discover it for yourself in-game and on your own, we still are excited to share with you a brief look at one of our up-and-coming locations we're calling Rockcracker.
What?
That does it. All shipping's being done in the Polaris.
Okay, so Rockcracker, Jared, is our internal name.
Rockcracker is where you have to crack a rock. It's a big rock. You want more?
So way out into the Kiga Belt, you'll find these old QV breaker stations. These were originally industrial facilities breaking apart large asteroids and mining them down. But since they've been mothballed and been left abandoned. So you're going to have to find your way inside and thinking about how do we bring this facility back to life.
Oh, that's kind of
It's not just about flipping a switch. As you bring these stations back to life, you'll be lighting the beacon and calling attention to these long forgotten places.
Oh shit, that's cool.
One of the main features is the laser head, which will require certain
More
things to get
lasers!
working.
Woo!
It's up to you and your friends to find how to get in.
There'll be a variety of options. Whether you're discovering the bowels of the station and mining your way through long forgotten tunnels, or you're going through the main laser entrance. Now, as you're traversing through the facility, you'll find the old engine room. Now, there may be ways to bring the facility back to life, kickstart the engines, and bring power to different parts of the facility. Maybe eventually bringing the laser back online and cracking some rocks.
So basically, it's
The
like
secondary
Space
gameplay
Hathor.
loop is FPS combat. You're not there by yourself.
There may be
Fuck yeah, dude! I love
squatters
Hathor.
and
This is
outlaws
great.
in these stations, trying to
Nah.
stop you from what you want to do.
I'll make it PvP for sure. Which the Van Duel are gonna show up to.
So you've found these old
Yeah.
facilities, you've brought them back to life. You've systematically brought power to various
Oh yeah.
functions of the facility.
Oh, Conky. New Van Duel
You've
ship too.
activated the laser.
Van Duel heavy fighter.
First,
You've fired the laser.
Is this the first stage of like base building?
You've broken apart the rock.
And engineering?
I don't
Actually,
know.
probably engineering,
Then
right?
you'd be able to fly your ship inside and see what's there.
Oh yeah,
That's
so you
what I was
go,
thinking, too, 'cause
you go in the rock.
And bringing systems online.
You fly a ship into an asteroid.
Yeah.
Sounds about right.
You just get into your ship and fly in and start searching around and trying to find
Well,
the
and
pieces
mining's
that you
gonna
want
be
to mine.
so imperative to building and engineering.
Yep.
That this makes sense.
It is all pointing towards base building for sure.
I think if this
I'm
is
really
all
excited about
dropping
Rock Echo
now,
because it's a
hopefully by
sandbox
the end of
activity.
this, we'll have a good
You can kind of go to these whenever you want to.
We better be getting the arrest.
This content is for players who
Yeah, the space
enjoy
AK?
mining, who enjoy exploration, investigation, and don't mind a little bit of FPS content while they're there.
Base AK! It was right there!
It will be very new experience compared to any other asteroids because this one, kind of like Alan and mine, will crack open and show its secret.
And one presumes you can make a decent amount of scratch in an asteroid that's big enough you fly your spaceship into it.
It wouldn't be worth doing if you couldn't make a good amount of coin. Yeah.
Making promises for the econ team.
Yeah.
So it's basically Hathor,
They've
but in
gotta balance
space.
it.
100% there's going to be PvP at these spots. 100%.
Oh yeah.
It's for people who want a lot of minerals.
And more space
When
combat.
crafting comes in, when all
Yes,
the other mechanics
more
and
space
features that
combat
you
for
want
sure.
in the game from
No
1.0
E2's
come in,
dropping bombs on it,
it will
so-
be a
Ooh,
place
that's
where
true.
like an organization or a group of like 5-6 people
Ships
could
and
come
FPS.
This
and
could
just
be
get a
really dope.
monumental
Multiple
amount of
capital
minerals.
ships showing up. This could be could be cool.
Gunships killing everybody in.
So
yeah.
that's a look
Mm-hmm.
at
What about
some of what's
Eclipse just
coming
launching their torpedoes
over
at the
next 12
asteroid?
months.
What do you say about that?
In addition
Yeah,
to what we've
torps is
shown,
another thing
there'll
for
be
sure.
new mission packs tailored to the People's Alliance
Facts,
and their
Randy.
struggles. There'll be events that invest you into the evolving storyline of all three systems
Release the Kraken?
we'll have in the game. And of
No
course,
way,
when
bro.
we begin populating
People's
these with
fucking
the new
heads would fly off
planets,
for sure.
Mine
there'll
would
be a
fly
whole
off
host
for
of
sure.
ground-based
Yeah.
POIs,
If they
settlements, and
drop the
structures
Kraken, I'll lose my
inhabited by those trying to make their way in the verse.
I
And
will.
all of this
I will
in service
it
of
will
building
validate my purchase.
star systems that complement the massive corporate yard of Stanton, the lawless ganking of Pyro, and now the new frontier of discovery for the Nyx system. Should I say ganking?
You already did. Good job, everyone. So yeah, a whole lot to take in there. Interstellar hauling is
Oh my
the
God, he
beginning of
said
a
ganking.
massive expansion to the mission system that'll let us connect
did. He
these
said
3-star
ganking.
systems like never before. What else we got? Rockcracker.
Everyone in the
Rockcracker
chat's
is
like,
just
"Wind
one of the
ships."
next operations that'll be coming to the Nix system in the first half of next year, where you're gonna fly into an asteroid and do that thing that miners love more than anything else. Complain about PvPers getting in their way. No, I'm being told it's mining. It's mining. And of course,
Complain
one
about
of the most
PvPers
anticipated
getting in their way.
features
I
coming
love
to Star
that.
Citizen, Genesis, and what that means for the
also,
planets of Star
we're 1
Citizen,
hour in.
including the ones already in there. So let's talk to Will Hain and find out more. And I'm just remembering that Will Hain is in France at the watch party. Okay, France. Ask Slarty Bartfast over there how they're going to use Genesis to update the planets and moons of Stanton and get back to me, all right? And see if we can get some fjords. What else we got? The Citizencon Digital Goodies Pack. Hard thing to say. That went up for sale a couple weeks ago and has a whole bunch of mysterious items in it. And that's what I can tell you now that almost all of them are tied to the Nix
win
system
again,
in one way
Chris.
or another.
You win
Yeah,
again.
I bought that, by the way. The digital
There's
goodies.
a
I
gunship
bought
flight
that.
suit, helmet,
What do you think I'm
2
doing right
armor
now?
sets from that
Oh,
one.
it has the Space AK in it?
The Van Duel.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
intersect.
I didn't know that. Oh, I wanted the armor, dude. I saw the armor. That's why I bought it.
Some slick Levski swag.
Oh
and
my
finally,
God.
To celebrate the long
35 bucks.
edition of the Van Duel to Star Citizen, a cool Van Duel knife and adorable plushie,
keep getting
which I
away
swear
with
to
it.
love and squeeze and
They
cherish.
can't keep getting away with
it's a
it.
pretty solid haul for this year's digital goodies pack, which you can still pick up right now on the RSI store. So now
This is by
let's go
far
ahead and
the
transition
best
into our
Citizen
next set.
compact ever put together.
Much of what you see
Yeah,
in
for
the
sure,
show
that's
today has been
dope. The armor, the weapons,
culmination of a
that's
lot of
cool.
people's work in. All right,
Oh
I
my
had a
God,
dream
it's
about
him.
it like this once. Yeah. Okay. So against everyone's better judgment, the
Space
thing has
Jared.
finally happened. Can I help you?
Got the armor on.
How do you think the show's going?
Good. We're getting the Nix star system, and the Van Duel are coming.
Kind of been a lot of Nix, right?
Well, yeah, but it's a major milestone, and it deserves a major
why
showcase
do you have-
celebrating
why is it got
everybody's
up with
hard
the Joker?
work. And
You got more, right?
oh, yeah, there's spaceships coming out.
Cool.
There's spaceships coming out.
Wow, it's like they
Oh,
need to scan the original community portion.
he said it!
If pictures steal your soul, imagine what face scanning and PCAP.
Perseus! Kraken!
What?
Pioneer.
Perseus,
Well,
please.
this has been super cringe. So I'm gonna head out.
Bye.
Oh, regular Citizencon is still better. You should have done that.
Of course. Thank you. Part of me that isn't a soulless marketing puppet. All right. No. No.
Yes.
Did you get it?
Let's just go to
I
some
saw the
spaceships,
puppet.
shall we?
Talking shit.
Hi, my name's John Crew. I'm the vehicle
John
director
Crew.
here at CRG, and
Here we
welcome
go.
to Talking Ship, where we're going to talk about 3 new ships.
No,
coming
they
to
said
the
it's still going to
existing
be on the
universe.
store. Is it available now, though? Because I'm about to go put that shit on now.
No,
Talking
it won't
shit.
be till the patch drops.
Oh, is that what he said?
The last year has been pretty hectic.
Well,
in terms of
there was a
vehicle
patch
deliveries.
today.
I think we've delivered
Like a small
the most we've
patch.
ever done in a 12-month
Being
period.
that it's the
and
Citizencon
covered all the way
goodies, I
from
figured
tiny
they'd
little
drop those
snubs
goodies
all the way
today.
up to capital ships.
We've kind of filled out a few little gaps. We've introduced some new ships by some old manufacturers.
We had the Polaris come out, and obviously people have enjoyed playing with that. We snuck the Idris in without none of you expecting it for a while, and it's been a busy year. It's nice to start revisit some of the older catalogue and some of the bigger ships again.
I think my favourite ship from the last year is a tie between the Wolf and the Golem.
Favourite ship in the last year? Probably the Wolf.
I feel like it's the obvious one. I'm trying to think of something else, but I really like the Wolf.
Everyone's mentioned the Wolf. The Wolf's everyone's favourite.
The Wolf, obviously, a return of Kruger, a completely new aesthetic to the game.
The Wolf was, it was kind of everything we set it out to be, and it revived an old manufacturer. We've not seen anything from a while.
Allow
So,
me to
yeah, I'm going to say the Wolf.
The
pick in that
Golem, I think, is just
bottom
an
piece.
incredibly well-formed ship in such a small package. It really just shows off that Drake aesthetic, giving you the absolute bare minimum needed to perform a role.
I honestly do really like the Zeus. I think it came out really well. It's kind of hard to pin down a favourite, to be honest, because we've released, a lot of really cool ships.
Next year, we've got some super exciting ships coming up. We're
It is cool, the Zeus.
ticking off a few big
It is
ones, which is good. We're gonna see again maybe some ships from some manufacturers that don't have that many in their lineup. There's a few big challenging ones starting, so they're good. A breadth of ships, should we say?
The 3 new ships we're going to introduce today all tie in some way to the primary factions fighting over the Nyx system. We'll start with the People's Alliance and Anvil Aerospace.
Paladin?
Anvil is a very military-based brand. It's been a brand that's in Star Citizen for a long time, fighting for lots of military contracts in lore, often up against Aegis, and to the point it actually beat Aegis in the past.
Let me fly it today.
You'll be familiar with a lot of their ships' designs, such as the Hornet and Lightning.
Next patch.
Earlier this year, we introduced the Anvil Asgard, based on the Valkyrie chassis, which is an extremely popular offering. And this year, we're bringing the concept ship we introduced last year, the Anvil Paladin.
Yep, the Anvil Paladin. Yep. What's up, Monk?
The Paladin is a gunship from Anvil Aerospace designed to support ground operations.
The gunship is a ship that's designed to stay in a sustained firefight while dealing a lot of damage, also taking damage.
We don't have a lot of gunships in the game that are true dedicated gunships.
So is this a Ret Pally?
They are quite a tricky archetype to control in game without being too powerful. It's designed with a lot of firepower and high armor and health, but very low maneuverability.
It's multi-crew, it's
wheelchair for sure.
Built purely for battle. It's got lots of armor, lots of guns, big guns.
It's got a very similar squat kind of form to the Valkyrie. It kind of reminds me of, I guess, like a pit bull. Obviously a very menacing silhouette.
Paladin looks fucking
It looks quite forward-weighted in its stance. It feels like it's coming towards you even when it's just sat still. And I think that's something that helps with it feeling intimidating.
If we swing round, following the ship round clockwise, what you'll then see is the first of the side turrets.
That's a lot of guns, dude.
Notice the canopy, you'll see that there's a fairly fixed space between where the glass is and the whole exterior. That's because it has deployable armor, which can come out and give you a little bit more cover while you're actually attacking the target head on.
It's got these really nice kind of dual connected wings with the turrets out on the sides, just to try and give as much kind of range for those turrets as we can get.
Which is controlled by one of the 2 remote stations underneath the bridge. If we come around to the rear, you'll see a rail. Now that rail mounts the main turret of the ship, which is controlled by the co-pilot.
So you've got full 360 coverage underneath.
That's dope.
Full 360
So it's got the
coverage
rail, yeah.
on top with it.
Is not that much
and then the side turrets also have 360 coverage that way around
Go in one
and
direction.
180 out sideways. So really you have between the turrets,
So are you going to have
pretty much 360
like
coverage
front,
in all directions.
bottom, back, top, bottom, back, or is it going to be fully mobile on the turrets?
One of the unique things about the Paladin is all the turrets are remote and all the crew are located in this one central 2-story room.
And it can go on the track to the bottom.
The crew gets scattered across
Well, that's
the
what I
ship,
mean, but is it
but
going to have like stopping
with
spots,
the
or is it
Paladin,
can you stop
you're
anywhere
all
on
sat
the track?
together with
Right.
a nice cool experience, so you can
That I
really
don't
feel
know.
like you're playing as a group.
Most likely.
You've got the pilot co-pilot up top and you've got the gunners
1A,
underneath,
1B.
and I think that helps with
Maybe a
the intention
point
of what the
C
ship
facing
does.
superior
Because
rear.
you've got this really nice kind of like gunner viewpoint down, kind of giving this lower coverage.
We added a glass floor just to keep the 2 connected. I think that really helps with the feeling that you're all working together and communicating.
That said, if you don't have the ability to fully crew a Paladin, you can still fly it and engage in combat solo.
Obviously not as good as if you have a full crew, but you can't always guarantee your friends are going to be online.
As a solo ship, it's pretty capable of doing a variety of missions within Star Citizen. So if you want to run this ship solo, you can take on combat missions that, say, other heavy fighters like the Scorpius or other ships such as the Drake Cutlass could do.
What?
Your hot mic.
Coming aboard Paladin, you enter into this sort of armory, ready room area. You have a variety of suit lockers and weapon racks in this room.
That's a
Everything's
sick
very
looking armory.
militaristic, stripped back, simple. It's a very functional space, but you'll find everything you need in that.
One of the improvements from the original concept is we've added a small dedicated cargo bay area, allowing you to store
It has cargo.
crates.
That's
Forward
cool.
of that is the route to the lower gunners.
Nice little daily
And then
driver, honestly.
Upstairs, you have the bridge area. And then off that central area, you have the dual living quarters, one on the left, one on the right. And then at the rear, you have the main sort of engineering area where the majority of the components are.
Do we know how much the
also
Paladin's
within
supposed to be?
upper traversal area. You also have a little breakout area with
I might swap
seating,
my
food machines,
Asgard for it.
It's 350 when I got
It's a
it.
very cool looking
Let me
ship.
look
I think
quick.
we did a really nice job of taking what was there in the concept and adding an extra level of detail and trying to kind of push things forward.
I think it hits the nail in terms of a really solid.
Yeah, that's what I was.
It's really
300
complementary to some of the
standalone,
other ships in the
260
Andal lineup. So something
Wait,
like the Valkyrie,
really?
where you've got this big drop ship. You know, the Paladins there.
Give me
just to
that, bro. I'd rather
make
have
sure
the
it's safe,
Paladin
make sure
than the
no one
fucking
messes with you,
Asgard.
and just basically scare people away.
The thing I like most, I
feel
think, about the
different
Paladin
roles.
is
Yeah, I know.
that it's very clearly got a crew of 4, and they
He
all
can't
kind of work
keep
and operate
getting
under the
away
same
with it.
conditions. You know, the pilot, co-pilot, and the 2 gunners. They're basically all equal on the ship. There's one toilet. Everyone's got the same style of bunk. When they're at work, everyone's at the front of the ship together.
It's really odd to me that you call that. You like that there's one toilet for 4 people.
Well, you know,
Nope.
it's
I guess the
you
price
all
is
work
now
together.
$350 for the
You're
Paladin.
all equal at work.
Makes
You're,
sense.
Toilet seat never gets cold.
Toilet seat never gets cold. Yeah.
So that's the Anvil Paladin. Whilst originally a military-built craft, it's the perfect ship for folks on the frontier trying to defend against threats. And talking of threats, let's move to our
where'd
next
you
ship,
see that
a
at? Did
replica
it
from
just-
Hesperia.
Oh, okay, I see it enabled.
You can get a 10-year right now for
Hesperia are a
$325 war
high-end
bonded.
manufacturer. They specialize in
Damn.
recreating exotic and particularly alien spacecraft.
Effectively, what they're doing is they're remanufacturing them, making them a little bit more suitable for
They
kind of
must have
human
just
flight.
dropped
And
it.
the latest offering from Asperia is the Vandal Stinger.
Yeah, I think they're enabled.
Oh, there it is. The
They're
stinger.
a big, scary space aliens. They're like 7-foot-tall, evil war race that sort of take over, steal technology, absorb it, fuse it all together into their own needs.
They are the relatively nasty aliens that you sometimes hear about and haven't seen much of yet. They also make really cool spaceships.
The Stinger as a Vandal heavy fighter was reserved for their higher tier sort of ace pilots or high-ranking members within their clans.
The Stinger is a competitor to something like the FA.
The Stinger is now
or,
also
I guess, the
available.
Scorpius.
No
It packs a
shot.
lot of firepower.
Flyable
Yeah.
or
quite a
no
large
next
frame,
batch?
so it's a
It is available.
very,
You can buy
very
it now. It just
tanky.
went live.
It's
spacecraft.
flyable?
The firepower
Yeah.
is almost
Stinger what?
unrivaled in terms of the
Stinger's
both
live.
the number and the
Holy
size of
fuck.
them. So it's there for players
290.
who don't want the joke.
Oh, decisions. What am I
with
supposed?
big guns and taking all the hits.
Honestly,
One thing Hesperia have done differently with the Stinger is they have done away with the majority of the bespoke weapons.
They heard everyone's complaints about the glaive and blade and have stripped off the original
the
Vandal
Hesperia
weapons
one, huh?
to allow customization
Yeah,
to standard human weapons.
Because
With the
technically
exception of
the
the single size 5 gun.
humans and
Too
Vandal
well
are a lot
integrated
different
into the whole,
sizes.
even for
So it's the
Asperia
Asperia version of
All
it.
the additional weapons are generic mounts, so they can be
Looks like
swapped
the,
with
utility is gonna
any of
get
the existing lineup that we have in the game. By doing this, provides greater flexibility to the end user, and this is something
That's a
Xperia
lot
wanted
of
for the
guns
civilian
on the
market.
Stinger.
For that one bespoke weapon, the size 5 plasma cannon,
They no longer
functionally
say
it is the
concept
same
on the Paladin
as the existing
either.
size 5 plasma cannons on the
This said
side
size
and
5.
glaive, but it is a sort of Gen 2 model and wraps it in a different aesthetic compared to those models. You'll see they're very much older Vandal styling. This is much newer Vandal styling, but underneath it is the same weapon that people have used for years.
Our job as the vehicle art team on the
And
PU
there's
was
no
to take
concept for the Stinger either.
from the
It's
squadron
supposedly
team
in-game
and
now.
prepare it for life in the PU. We took an opportunity.
So is the
to take,
Paladin in game now,
this
or is
really
that next
well-established
batch?
art style, and add extra
So the Paladin's
details
out
where
too.
needed.
So the exterior is a real blend
Yeah,
of
there's
these
no-
kind
nothing
of
saying
hard surface, kind of rare
concept
alloys
right now in the
kind of
store.
wings, and then underneath is real kind of
Well, no, they said they
organic
won't do
structure
concepts
that kind of
anymore.
webs all of the ship together.
I know they
You
say
it
that, but
connects
do you really
the
believe
thrusters in, it connects all the kind of underside of the vehicle,
Oh my
and
God,
pulls the
bro.
whole ship together.
You can tell it's very different.
This is
from
so cool.
The
This is a
Vandal
good
ships that are
Citizencon.
currently in the PU. If you take, for example, the way the cockpits are constructed.
Up
Yep.
at the front, we've
Alright,
got
yeah,
this big
that means
kind of
it's flyable.
bubble dome that gives the cockpit
In which
quite a
batch? Like
unique
some
shape
coming one,
compared
or-
to some of our other ships.
Well, it's
It
labeled
also gives
flight
the
ready
pilot
right now.
a unique position within the ship and kind of gives great
The
visibility
Stinger,
up front.
you can get a Meridian patch.
Boarding the
Meridian
Stinger
pink
is
for it,
a
too.
little unusual compared to
That's dope.
Other ships, obviously being alien in nature.
You're going through a ramp at the rear, and it leads you kind of straight up into the belly of the ship.
Dan, you get your own little roller coaster in
lots
this
of
thing?
organic detail, rib cages, kind of strange alien forms.
On entry of the cockpit, the seat kind of comes down towards you, and you kind of climb over the back of it a bit like a motorbike.
You're basically riding into the cockpit. It feels very much like you're being.
Dude, that's a full-blown roller coaster.
Into the traditional prone flying pose that Vandal pilots use.
Dude, this thing's gonna be fast.
I'm very happy with this thing. I think the team done a really good job of making something that feels different. It feels alien, but it suits our lineup of ships and it suits our universe.
I think the guys did a really good
It's
job
probably gonna be in line
of
with the
respecting
F8,
the direction and vision from the original Stinger and Vandal ships.
All right, what's the third ship?
We tried to take a lot of inspiration from movies and other science fiction material, but I think it sits well within the Star Citizen universe.
I'm
So we
not.
have Paladin for the People's
It's a
Alliance.
crack and fully
we
released.
have the Stinger
Shut the
for
fuck up.
people that really like Vandal and want to try and pretend to be them. But what about the other mysterious faction we have running around?
So Gray Chowdhury got his start as he was working at a cargo center out in Odin. He started being able to get his hands on some stuff that other people couldn't, items that necessarily you couldn't find on a store
It's gonna be like a
shelf that you
cargo
wanted
ship
anyway.
or something because the
I
last
think
two ships were
Gray
combat.
is interested in, happy customers. Gray just sees themselves as a conduit to get these things in the hands of people who would appreciate them.
And
Well,
I
they're
think
talking
that
about the
his
Apollo
latest
other
offering
version
is
too, though.
really
That was
gonna
a
turn some heads.
possibility.
Oh, the Apollo Hermes, right?
What is that?
Yeah.
So
Oh,
the
what?
Shiv.
What is this? What?
We don't really know what it is. If I'm to be fair,
It's what happens when someone who
You look like a
is
Cuddy.
genius at aeronautics
What the
and
fuck is
ship
it?
assembly is given free rein.
Dude, it's
to
like a
do
Cuddy.
whatever
What is it?
Son of a
It's
bitch, that's a
the
Drake.
best
That's a Drake
of
ship for
whatever
sure.
they can find lying around, put together to make something
Dude,
truly
that's a fucking
unique,
Cutlass
wonderful,
black with the front,
arguably
like,
beautiful,
wings cut off
and just released out
They
into the
hot rodded a
universe to see
Cutlass.
what happens.
What
At
the
first
fuck?
glance at the exterior of the ship,
Dude, that is a
most people
Cutlass.
Will probably recognise there is more than a fair proportion of the Cutlass visible there, but it's had
The
quite a
Shiv.
few changes to it.
It is
As you look a little bit closer, you'll
$135.
start to pick out
What?
elements from other
War
ships.
bonds,
You've got,
150 standalone.
main thrusters that are from the Valkyrie.
It's got Valkyrie
Are
thrusters,
obviously a Cutlass,
but a
have
Cuddy
panels
body.
welded on, panels removed. The top turret, which is now remote, is just this hodgepodge amalgamation with multiple other ships' turrets. And then the changes continue onto the inside, where again, it sort of feels Cutlass-like, but then you'll find there's bits of Crusader ships just
Two
integrated
size
into the
fours
wall instead of
and
what was there originally.
one
it
by
has
four
lost
size 3.
its side entrance, some of its cargo capacity, but what it's gained is it's gained visually more powerful thrusters. It's gained a really kind of nice set of belly thrusters. It's upped its firepower.
As ever, with the refined work from...
What is it, a Drake
Grace
Heavy
Market,
Fighter?
You can see that great care was taken
I
to health and
am
safety
gonna
to
echo what
ensure
you
that there's
said.
no trip
Gray
hazards anywhere.
markets. It's not Drake. It's Gray
There's like
markets.
loose cables, panels are exposed. If you look carefully, you'll notice there are like tools laying around in the cockpit.
It's gained a toilet.
It's a bucket. The toilet is a literal bucket.
Okay.
Yeah, it's one for doing stuff, and you need a second one to wash your hands. It's not an animal.
It is very much taken that ethos
it's
of
called the
Drake
Shiv.
and moved it down a level, which I think is quite an achievement.
Just look at this thing. How do you even begin to describe the madness that created this?
God damn it!
It's the
Sorry.
Shiv.
The Shiv.
This is something new and different for Star Citizen. Where did it come from?
I'm not going to answer that.
Just
Nope.
nothing. Just
No comment.
Gray goes to places and talks to people. I mean, there are just many
So two
ways to
size
find
fours.
these things that, are they legitimate,
One X- 4X
manufacturers?
size 3 turrets.
No. Are they operating on the right side of the law? Maybe
4X
not, but,
size 3s? Alright, that's
money's
crazy.
One.
does Gray have
One
a model,
4X size
an
3, yeah,
ethos
yeah.
to live by?
It probably comes down to, don't ask where I got it.
Don't ask how we got it.
Don't worry about it. Just ask if you want it.
219 now.
I think the Shiv is for someone that is looking for something a bit different, a bit away from the norm, that just wants something that's unique.
It's definitely for people who like a rustic aesthetic.
It's a fun ship. But it's also really strong, to be honest. And it's absolutely...
Honestly, I'm about to melt my Super Hornet. And get that.
I'm happy with the 3 ship offerings.
You
They're
know that
obviously
is
very combat heavy.
There's something we wouldn't normally release all at once, but honestly, all of them are a different statement and they're all cool.
As always, super excited to release these ships into the
I couldn't have
game
been
to
more
see how
wrong,
players
dude. I was like,
react,
it's probably gonna be a
play with
cargo
them.
runner.
It's always fun to see the quirks and the shenanigans that people get up to with them. So that's talking ship for another year. So,
Yeah, you gotta do the thing with Lexi. Talking weapons.
No Perseus.
So I've just been informed that we have to do a bit of a timeshare agreement this year. So we have to throw it over to Alexi for Talking Weapons, which is an extremely original name.
Talking weapons. Space AK. Come on, talk to me about space.
Yeah, I really just melted my whatchamacallit.
I'm talking
my
about
utility.
the new edition that comes
Yeah?
out in October.
I never used that ship
weapons
anyway.
are essentially the weapons that does not have a manufacturer, the weapons that you can think of that were made by space pirates.
Gray sells whatever he can sell.
Sometimes he gets his hands on some weapons that come from unknown origins.
He will sell things that no company in their right mind would ever make.
These are the most kind of like scrappy and taped together and the most kind of like pyro-ish weapons that you can think of.
Right now we're releasing 3 new weapons. Rocket launcher.
A rocket launcher.
LMG, and
A new
long
LMG.
awaited
And the space AK. What?
I think this is the one that not only is the most in demand, but I've been politely badgered about the most.
That's
it's a
so
fun
weird.
rifle that basically fires energy and ballistic
I can already tell
in
that recoil
sequence.
impulse
So
is
your
gonna
first
be
shot
wild.
will be your ballistic, but your second shot will be the energy. You'll see on the top of the art there is a bolt
Recoil me,
that
daddy.
cycles the rounds, and that goes off with the ballistic shot, but it does not go off with the energy
So
shot.
are we gonna get like
and
a patch
that is
to
just
download
Wait,
to
a really
get
fun
that
way
thing
of
that thing
making
shoots
a weapon
ballistic
work
and
kind of like a
laser?
scrappy,
Yeah.
glued together.
What the
kind
fuck?
Of,
Of course,
aesthetic.
AK does everything.
The LMG, this thing
LMG
is a
looks
really
crazy.
fun, slow
You
firing,
need soup cook, AK cook
hard-hitting
soup.
beast.
It will bring the 50 cal, and the only other weapons that have this right now in the verse are the bearing sniper rifle.
Slow rate of fire, but I bet you it
Honestly,
hits.
if you even get hit by one, you just instant tier 1 injury, back to medical.
It sounds really cool.
Are you even trying anymore?
You know what? We made all these really complicated, fancy guns, and some people just want, I want a slow firing rifle. Give me a scrap together box that fires the biggest thing you can
Paladin is
possibly
not
fire.
in game yet.
It's not.
We don't have a rocket launcher of this caliber. It will be 3 grenades straight together.
It's literally an
That you
RPG.
put into the tube and fire towards your enemies. The cool part about it will have an arming distance, so you'll not be able to just point it towards an enemy.
It's also going to have a lot of
Oh, you
spread.
have to-
So essentially, you're going to have to get very close with your launcher to be able to blow up ships with a single payload in it. You can't actually aim with the apparatus because you've got the tube on your shoulder.
So you can't
and to
aim it.
aim it. You'd have to physically put the tube in your head. So we were like, oh, we can't have an aim apparatus for this. And then we realized, like, it's in the spirit of being a tube that you can't use the aiming apparatus, and
Imagine
you
they
just kind
ruined
of
this
like,
entire
all right,
thing by
I
saying,
think that's the
"Now,
middle of the screen.
80 personnel
I'm gonna hit
minds."
it.
It's in the spirit of being a tube.
Flame Wars.
Heard about this binocular.
Are we gonna talk
Yeah,
about
I've seen that.
binoculars? Binoculars are really cool. We don't have anything like this in the verse, and
I hope it has
think
night
it will be
vision.
really
That's what I'm
convenient to use something that's dedicated to look for the things, especially far away, instead of using your sniper scope, for example.
Will the binoculars have glint?
I'm not aware of this one. Probably not, because binoculars are not something that you need to be aware of.
It's really funny because obviously, due to Glintgate, as you know, I beautifully internally call it, basically there was a lot of community feedback basically saying like, oh, I really like spotting people. I really like playing a spotter. And essentially I was like, oh, this community wants to be able to spot people from distances. And what can we make gadget-wise that doesn't require
So
new
can we
features? And it
ping
was
them
like,
with that?
binoculars. And I prototyped a thing which
Hope
essentially
so.
was just a scope in a hand.
Because if that's
and
what
it
he's
worked.
talking about, being a
So we've
spotter,
got
you
some
should be able to
really cool
ping.
binoculars coming that allow you to spot people from distances.
It has night vision.
And how much damage do the binoculars do?
Depends on how you throw them.
That's fucking dope.
Thanks, Alexi and
So
Zach.
we get those
That's
3
the end of
weapons
this segment
in
for
the
this year, so that's
Citizencon
talking
pack
ship
too.
And weapons, unless
Yeah.
anyone
yeah.
else is going to come and tell me something else. It's been an exciting year, and I think the next year of ships is going to be even more exciting and expansive than this year.
Okay, no Perseus, no Kraken, but you know what? It's okay.
Well. That is an eclectic bunch of combat ships for the verse, and they're all available right now up on the robertsspaceindustries.com store. Also, any minute now, there's going to be a PTU drop that includes all 3, so you can fly them now ahead of their release next week when Alpha 432 goes live.
So
3
the
combat
ships aren't
ships.
available now.
I wonder if they'll have any additional.
They're
uses
available
coming up
next
later in
week.
the show.
But if you go to PTU today, you can
All
fly
right,
them. Okay.
what else can I shill? Oh,
That's
there's
what I'm doing.
merch.
Did he just say
we got
they're
these
gonna
cool
drop it
new
now,
Levski desk mat things.
He said they're available to purchase now because they're going to drop the PTU any minute now.
On the store, and
then
love them or hate them,
in a week, that patch will hit us and we'll have the ships.
Emporium T-shirt.
Oh,
Yeah.
available in the PTU.
It'll be on the
There's also a
PTU
page
today.
published earlier today with a
It'll
bunch
be
of
on live
links
in a
to
week.
offerings from our third-party partners, from eye
all the
trackers
PTU.
to
Me
gaming
neither, I'm not
chairs to
doing that
voice
shit.
packs to spaceship models from new
I'll let
partners
you know how it
like
flies.
Planet Ring and Pigeon
Would you get the
Spaceport and
Shiv?
more. You can find all of that on the RSI
Yeah, I got both.
website as well.
Okay.
And what
so
else can I
the
show? Oh, for those of you who
Paladin
are at
already
watch
had
parties,
the
those who are at
utility for the
watch
Shiv.
parties,
Okay.
where is it? Challenge coins. Who doesn't love challenge coins? There's these lovely Levski themed challenge coins if you're attending one of the 9 official watch parties around the world. There's also a digital one of these in the goodies pack, so you check those out. Don't leave today without getting your Levski challenge coin. All right, what else can I shill? Now I'm kind of tired of shilling. All right, let's find out some more about where we are. Simon, can we move? Can we do? Oh, yeah. Look at that. Okay, here we go. Pardon me. Excuse me. Hi, how you doing? Hey, that's my best angle. Hey, I gotta be careful. Last year I took 3 steps and tore a muscle.
Turn my Intrepid into a
All right,
shiv?
so this is the 9th floor of CIG Manchester's Manchester office. That's
I need to go work for CIG, dude. Look at this fucking shit.
This is the room where we have lunch every day, and if you get here early enough, croissants.
Yeah, I work for a
if the
trade
weapons team
company. Our
hasn't
shit does
stolen
not
all
look
of
like
them.
this.
I believe it.
Over here, we got some cool mannequins representing different aspects of the game. You got the ever-present, Hurston security armor over here. That's really cool. You got your
guys are
Duster's
really
armor
suffering. Oh, is that the
right
Bengal?
here.
Yeah, they have the
We got
Bengal.
this guy from a game that we're not talking about today. Marine armor. Yeah, it's all pretty cool. And then when you come over here, got a nice little recreation area. There's some sim
want
pits
that
over
ship so
there for
bad.
people who
The
need to
Bengal?
test that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
We got this cool Krigeri Bengal carrier. Come over here, shoot it.
Apparently the
Go
hangar's
down
supposed to
the
be able
go down
to
the nose here.
fit,
Watch this. Watch this. Pretty cool. I'm gonna go over here.
Retaliators in it. So
Look at that fucking hanger, dude. Oh my god.
it's supposed
Hi,
to be
Mom.
able to fit retaliators,
Right.
dude.
So yeah, and
Well, there's
That's a
another
big
carrier
ship.
called the
What are you doing,
Pegasus that
Richard
has
Tower?
2 underslung retaliators too.
all right. I thought John went to Washington D.C. Let's see what else we got. We got cool Voyager bar here. This is where we get all kinds of breakfast goodies, coffee, stuff like that. Hey, who remembers the big coffee controversy of 2016, where everybody took to Reddit and pondered the question: do devs deserve coffee? I do. You want to see what next year's big controversy
How
is?
do you
Check this
use
out.
that during
Come
your
over
work
here.
shift and not feel
Do
good?
devs deserve coffee?
Right.
Welcome
during break
to the
time, I suppose.
Stargarita machine. Yeah.
I think it's actually just.
Stargarita machine.
Do devs deserve frozen deliciousness?
I just feel like if you try to walk up to that motherfucker,
I don't know.
like,
Go to
the
Reddit
actual
and let us
people
know.
would be like,
All right,
"Where's
let's see.
Jerry?
Let's go over here.
Fucking alcoholic."
Competition. Oh, competition winners. We have the list of competition winners.
You're
Can we put that on
choosing
the screen?
alcoholic.
only.
Yeah, they're the one.
Hey, he's
competition
wild.
winners. Remember the
Getting
competition
flamed
for
on the stream
the
last
Citizencon
month.
winners? The people made the videos, and we gave them a Kruger L21 Wolf. We actually have the names. They're behind me. Look.
Are we just burning time right now? What the fuck?
Yep.
Yeah, right.
Absolutely.
All right.
They're
that's
stalling
cool.
for something.
Also, everybody's got food.
Is he
You guys
stalling?
food here?
For,
Oh,
what, how
somebody
many?
wants to save me
How
pizza.
long is left?
All right, so we got
Half
Oh, you
hour
guys
to
saved me a lot of pizza.
Okay.
See, there's like 3 different kinds of
Brian,
pizza
you don't know
here.
how jealous I am right now.
What if we just
That's just crazy. Yeah. Tell
combine
me about it.
them into like a challenger situation here?
Oh my god. What the fuck?
He has 30 seconds of stall time left.
That's a Citizencon throwback if you're not familiar with. So I have now
that pizza looks
crafted
gross.
my own pizza experience.
Crafting, base building.
And that
Pioneer
is
out
a
now.
terrible segue into
Come
our
on,
next
come
segment.
on.
Gemma,
Crafting,
can
base
we,
building, build space
Gemma, you there?
stations. Give me something.
Oh god,
Can we fire up the
Stop.
FPS crafting segment while I try
Stop.
to
You're in the
choose this on
future. I
camera?
don't like it. Stop.
We sure can. Go,
Fucking
busy.
refresh Twitch, weirdo.
I'm not onto it. I know. I want pizza so bad now. A crafted experience.
Pioneer being released.
Star Citizen, at its heart, will always be an enormous sandbox experience where you can set out to tackle the universe in whatever ways you want.
We're aware, bro.
But that doesn't mean we can't shape parts of the universe here and there to better suit our needs. That goes for both you and us. Let's start this part of the show with a look at how crafting is going to change everything from resource gathering, refining, and even combat when it
We
comes
know.
online
We all
in the
played
next few months.
Atlas and Ark and Rust.
Paladin
Like, we
is
know.
in
First version of
game.
crafting is going to be
It is?
quite small in scale. We're going to use
Yep.
it as a kind of a concentrated effort to allow the players to experience the initial UI, the flow of gathering materials that have different quality, and using those to craft items which are better than what they have currently in the game.
The first version is going to be primarily FPS items that you can craft, weapons
That's a
and
cool
armor.
set of armor.
For Star Citizen, crafting is our primary progression mechanic. Star Citizen isn't your standard MMO. We don't have levels. We have ships, we have gear, we have things that you create in the world, you perfect, you research, you improve. And those items, those ships, those vehicles, the armor and weapons, that's how you progress in Star Citizen.
You're telling me I don't just pull out
Crafting
my
isn't
wallet
just a
and buy
progression
something?
mechanic for creating new items. It's also a fundamental change to how we handle resources in the game. Materials that you collect, how you refine them.
Item
quality
stats is
matters.
huge.
Crafting the weapons, you'll be able to have some quality materials to influence the item stats on those weapons.
It'll be somewhat random.
I know.
Potentially weighted on the location of the material. Some will have a higher chance of higher quality. And once you take those materials to your crafting bench, the fabricator, you can use them to craft, and the different attributes will be increased based on the quality of the materials you use. It's not just iron ore anymore, it's iron ore of the quality that you know will get you the stats for the item that you desire. And it's not just mining, it's essentially every resource we can get our hands on.
To support this, we also need major changes to inventory so that all of these new resources that you're collecting.
Oh, look at the new
You
UI.
can see what you have, you can order it better, you
Oh,
can
dude,
understand
that's
what you
nice.
have in
I
your
love the new
inventory.
UI.
We won't have the new refining crafting system yet. We'll be using the existing ones. Those will pass the quality through into the refined materials, which you can then take to your crafting machine and start making your personal items. Once you have your blueprint and your quality materials that
Blueprints,
you've
yeah.
refined,
Once you have
then
your
you can
blueprint.
put them together on the item fabricator. This will be pretty much what we showed in last year's Citizencon, with the UI letting you assign your quality
Hunk?
resources to different aspects of the item. Once you're happy with what you see on the
Can I
preview,
buy that
you'll
now?
be able to click to craft, and it'll get
Can I buy a
queued up,
fabricator?
and
Yeah,
your
that's-
result will be
right.
produced sometime later. You'll be able to get the new crafting machine from shops in most landing zones. You'll
Oh,
be
you
able
can
to
buy
bring it
them
up
from
on
landing
your freight
zones.
elevator and use it in your personal hangar.
Dude,
or
that's
tractor
sick.
beam it around and stick it on a ship. If
You
want
could
to
put the
use it from
fabricator
there.
on your ship. That's fucking cool.
There'll be a small amount of blueprints you get credited to your account just to test and mess around, but the vast majority of them will be
Right, you're
earned
gonna have to-
through
yeah,
missions,
probably.
and then you can use that blueprint to
But that's
craft the
good.
item
That's risk
that it
reward,
is
you know?
that you've got the blueprint for, so it should be a good reason to go
That's
and
just called
test
a
all the different
gamer's dream.
various missions in the game.
The advantage of crafting your own items is that they'll be better than anything that you could buy from shops. You'll be able to increase and improve item stats that are relevant to your gameplay. Maybe a gun will shoot faster, maybe it'll do some more damage.
You see how
or
fast
your
his
armor
fucking
will have
shotgun
greater
shot?
resistances against environmental effects.
Oh, that's the new
or
BattleTech
other
armor. Yeah, that's the new
You
battle.
might be wondering, what about the upgrade and research?
Yeah,
That
that's
will
the
be
new set
coming
coming
in
out with the next
subsequent
patch.
release. We're happy with this initial scope for crafting.
It's going to be so valuable for us as devs to kind of get the metrics in, get the feedback in, because then we can make the changes that, you know, they only become obvious, so to speak, when you have kind of mass amounts of data and mass amounts of users using it. So I'm very excited to get it out in the wild.
It's our intention to get crafting out on tech preview by the end of the year.
What?
And get the
By the
testing
end
we
of the
need so we
year?
can release it when it's ready.
By the end of the year, dude.
Tech preview, tech preview.
Yeah, still.
So that's one way you'll be crafting
All this game
your
is
own
a tech preview.
experiences in the Star Citizen universe. But what about us? Where do we get to hone in and craft a bespoke experience here and
Hockey's
there,
gonna be excited
specifically
about this
tailored
one.
to individual or small group play? Well, that's where instancing comes in.
Go, Honk.
And I'm going to let Benji tell you a little bit more.
We're bringing instancing to Star Citizen in 2026. Why are we doing it, and how will it work? So if you've played any content in 2025 in Star Citizen, you know that most of these areas were in actual PvP zones where other players could interfere. Instancing is a
know it's
means to
needed, but I
create an
don't like it.
environment where designers can create
No, it's
tailored
great. It gives
content
everybody
that's
a
tuned to a
flavor to
specific
develop,
group
like,
size, but it
wanna
is also
engage.
protected from outside
You still
interference.
need casuals.
It's not to say that we don't love PvP. I'm a
That's
PvP
why I
guy.
know you need it.
PvP
But
me,
I
bro.
want to ruin somebody's day some days. That's how I want to do
But like
things.
most MMOs, a good balance between a dangerous overworld and a protected
these guys are
instances
pretty
is
smart,
needed.
so I'm sure
Right now,
they'll
we don't
reward
have this
doing
ability, and this is something we really need in order to give you a sense of progression that is tailored
make it
and
extremely
balanced
difficult
to a
too,
tunable
right?
amount of groups.
yeah.
Difficulty matches the group
Well,
size.
you're probably- yeah,
There's a beginning
that's
and
true.
an end. It doesn't mean that
Yeah,
that doesn't
and
fit
when you do
in our
instance content,
overworld strategy, meaning
performance
getting
is
to the
better.
instances
Yeah, that's
dangerous,
true.
For that
exiting
dungeon.
the instances
And
dangerous,
you can
or can be
do,
interfered with others. But at
novel,
least when you're playing the content, we can actually make something that's curated for one
maybe like a
experience.
boss that does weird attacks. That you
So
couldn't
before
really do
anybody
with-
says this is only a PvE thing,
Yeah, and the
this technology can
mechanics
also
are
be
in sync
applied to
instead of waiting
unlock
in a terminal that takes
curated
35 minutes
PvP
to reset, and you're
experiences
doing
that
nothing
are
for
as
35
seamless as the
minutes.
PvE ones.
I
So
get
it's not
that,
about
but-
one thing or the other. It's really
yeah,
about
I'm still in
unlocking
hesitation.
developers' ability to create curated content. So
I
that
get it.
said, how will it work?
I get it.
Instancing is really an evolution over static to dynamic
Man, I'm
meshing.
telling you,
we want
you
your
need the
instances to be
casuals.
as seamless
No, I
as
know,
your
I know.
instance hangers.
No, I know,
meaning that
I know,
when
I
you
know
take
you
an
have to have
elevator,
them. I got buddies that
exit
won't
the
play the game
elevator, you're
because
inside the
they're
instance.
casuals.
A gateway opens, you cross that gateway, you're now in your
also be
instances. Could be also a quantum jump
forced
into an
content
instance that you don't
for
even see.
refining
The
materials,
transition is just like a
all
dynamic
kinds of
mesh
shit, so
transition.
farmers.
And so throughout the universe, we will be able to add these
What are
areas
those
that are
things?
open or closed instances that allow you to join in either with a party and have a reserved instance for your party, or join an open instances
looks
that
like a
has a
new,
number of
size
slots. And so some of
war,
those areas will
gun
be
on it.
completely instanced on different servers. This allows us to leverage the
I mean,
compute
yeah,
power of the
for
entire
sure.
mesh. The closed ones will be really to drive one piece of content. You enter and exit seamlessly, just like we do with your instance hangers currently. Let's go and find out what one of our first instances will be.
Siege of Arzen was an event we did previously.
way they're bringing
which
back Siege of
created
Arzen.
a gameplay scenario
Oh, God,
where the
I think
player
so. I
had
love
to
that place.
run through
But they're gonna
and progress
instance
through
it.
contested islands of Arzen. This was a high-paced, high-intensity event, but it struggled a little bit
I
from
remember
its
having,
technical
like,
execution.
you had 100 players at
but
a
now
time
with the
trying to do it
introduction
one
of
time. It was
instancing,
awesome.
it gives us
Yeah.
an opportunity to evolve it and modify it and make it better for you in a small group to work through that activity.
It is an event that I had the honor of pretty much solely designing and building all of the logic and having the stress of trying to get it working.
Agent Dooley from the CDF puts the call out for volunteers because basically the Nine Tails have taken over sort of a cluster of floating platforms
The one
in
time we
Orson.
did in 5
And
minutes.
you are
we did
there
the
to
entire
kill
season in
these
5
sort
minutes.
of
15 to
lieutenants of this
20
terrorist
fires
organization and take back control.
Oh, that's crazy.
So in our current
Lots
thinking,
of your
Siege of
fucking
Arson is designed
org
for
members,
about
yeah.
a 15 to 20 people fire team. So you, your friends, or your org will go in, you'll all have sort of dedicated roles. Some of you might be the tank who brings in the heavy weapons
I like the
and
fact that
sort
we're
of
getting
pulls the
dungeons,
fire.
though. It's different.
Some of you might sit at
The
the
game
back
needs
and be
it.
the sniper and
If
pick
they want it
people
to be
off
an
a little bit
MMO, there
further to
needs
make
to
the
be enough
advance
PvE
easier.
and
Some of you
PvP
will
stuff,
be
and it needs to
medic
be able
who
to be merged.
sole job is going to be revive and look after the rest of your team and the health of them. And
It's better
some
for the
of you will
game,
be the
for
people
sure.
who push for the
I
objectives
want
to try and
hardcore
get sort
PvP
of most of the
everything,
mission
but
done.
I understand that this is a better direction for the game.
People. But when we released it, we fixed the problem
Especially if
with
there's gear loot from them.
2
Yeah,
DGSs
right.
on one
Like
server
Destiny,
that was
for
fighting for
example.
resources. And with that, we also
I
upped the
love
player
that
count to
game. That's
100.
basically
So
all
when it
PvE.
first debuted, it was already too full for what it was designed for.
It was a massive operation at the time. I think that bringing it back and giving it a refresher will be a fantastic addition back into the PU.
So imagine if Siege was a instance that you could go in and play solo, or if it was a public event that you could go with your friends, or you could join up with random players on the server. There's
Wait,
lots
does
of
this mean
ways
this is
that
coming?
we want to take a look at Siege, how we can make it.
But does that
a
mean that there
more
is no
approachable
PvP at
piece of
Siege of
content.
Orison anymore? Is that what that means?
I'm excited to say the least to bring back Siege of Orison to
I'm
Star
actually not
Citizen
opposed to that.
and to sort of have it
That
be one
particular
of the
event,
first
but-
tests that we have.
I mean,
for
there's other
instancing
shit like the
and really
Hathor
get it back
stuff
to sort of a core
and the worm
experience
sites
point
and
where it
everything
should
that'll
be.
probably remain.
So while
open.
the next season is quite heavily focused on
Because there
Nyx,
was no-
I'm
there was-
also
for
very
all
happy that we're
crafting
not
stuff.
really
They were already showing
ignoring
the
our other two
Yeah.
systems of Standard and Pyro, and we're going back there and we're sort of
Siege of Orison was
improving and
not- there wasn't
expanding
any
on
overall
the
reward. There
player's
wasn't a
life
reward,
in
just
those two
individual
systems as
conduct.
well.
It was an overall reward, so
Yeah.
there was no point in having a PvP event.
That's true.
Yes.
I always got
and
to
while
that top
things like
building with a
Genesis,
sniper at a
intercell
P6
hauling,
and I would just shoot
crafting,
people
Siege
getting
of
off the
Orison,
tram.
And more will reveal next
was
year.
you?
will
Yeah, that was me.
continue to
I did
bring
it all the
life
time.
into the existing universe outside of Nyx. There's still one more exciting use
Everybody shut
for
the fuck up.
instancing we're building right now. It's an
Yeah,
earlier look than
Mark.
normal, and some of it is still in white box, but we're excited to share the first look at a major content release of 2026.
What is he talking about?
And what it means for progression-based gameplay. As an evolution of our building interior initiative,
Uh-huh.
you won't discover it by accident, because when it's complete, it will be found deep within the heart of Levski itself. This is the Municipal Works. So inside the facility, you'll find huge vaporization chambers, old processing plants, industrial tunnels, and eventually into the old turbines, which are still pumping heat into the old rock.
So this is the true history of Levski. This is a place where you won't see in Lorville, you won't see in I-18 or the other landing zone. It's the pure basis of Levski. You will have, of course, metal and tunnels and more structural place, but you will also see a lot of rock and cave. So it's not a place you go to take vacation. It's really a place you go to fix stuff.
Not everybody has what it takes to come down there and do the job that needs to be done.
All of your sewage systems have stopped working. Everything's going to quite literally. And so the player is tasked with their group, most likely, to go into there, take out the outlaws, and get the facility working again.
So let me get this straight. This is literally a mission to fix the toilets of Levski.
It's not just the toilets. You're also trying to turn on the air. Air is a bit more important. It still works in Levski, but they have maybe polluted air because it's not being cleared properly. It's not just for the toilet.
Poop mission.
It's also a little bit more exciting than just going into some vents. It's like a free-layered system where there's 3 chapters.
Sounds like a shitty
This
mission
will
to me.
be mission-driven and repeatable. Everything from mining to salvage to combat to investigation, a variety of roles.
This is cool.
Narratively, it's a real sandbox. Every progression you do will unlock a new area that will link back to previous areas, complexifying the play space.
We've been wanting to have more gameplay around landing zones for a long time. Now that we have instancing tech coming online, that allows us to do something that provides really cool gameplay close to a landing zone.
With the missions, that's what will create different overlays or change the spaces or change the progression, but it'll be the instancing which will enable us to create tailored content to you and your group. So you're going to be able to play a part of it, make your progress, and then log off. And then the next time you come online, you'll be able to pick up where you left off.
It's going to allow players to return back to it at different states, depending on how much you've progressed, and be able to keep it going until you've reached sort of the end of the whole 3 chapters.
That is pretty
You're
cool.
not going to have other people getting in your way. It's you, your team, your party.
It's a way of giving players content where they know exactly where they're at and they can keep going back to it and improving sort of their own progress and ability to jump through them faster and faster times as well.
So that's a look at how we'll be allowing players and developers alike to create more crafted experiences within the greater sandbox of the persistent universe.
Yeah, feel free to look at my screen
at this point, Jared?
to the
Almost.
Paladin now.
Throw it back to me, and I've got one.
I
more
will
for
when
you
this
after
is over.
Back to you, Jared.
Everybody's really excited about the year ahead. So that's a brief look at some of the ways in which we're allowing you and our developers to craft a more curated Star Citizen experience. Now, at this point in the show, we are in the home stretch. We've got only one more segment to go. But before we do that, we wanted to check out, we said earlier in the show that we would look at what you were saying during the show. We looked at how to put YouTube comments on the stream, and it was immediately apparent that we were going to lose our broadcast license, so we're not going to do that. We did find some social media stuff on Twitch, though, or not Twitter, X. What is it called now? Let's see what this says. Let's see. We've got Welcome Back Levski from, I'm not wearing my glasses. Oh, no. Oh, time to suit up. Let's go get him, says Ubu. I really should have worn my glasses. Cue the bagpipes. That's the other game, Charlie Oscar. Let's see. Nice to see you live, Jared. Mom? Let's see. First Citizencon after playing for almost a decade in Austin.
Person
oh,
in the
nice.
top right's mother.
Straight out of
definitely
Klesher,
Tylenol.
back to the Hex. Photos from Leicestershire. How do you say it? Is that Leicestershire?
No definitive proof.
Leicester? Geez, I've only been in the UK for 3.5 years.
Damn.
At San Jose Bar Citizen Watch Party. Oh, somebody created a lovely Vandal mask there. Sean Tracy, can we get that in game? Just that, exactly. Just scan that, put that in game. All right, so that's a few reactions we're seeing on social media right now. Before we get to our big finale, or the thing we're going to wrap up the show with today.
Big finale.
I did want to talk a little bit about big Citizencon versus digital Citizencon versus what we're doing today, which is Citizencon Direct. Every year, Citizencon is a monumental task for any number of people, whether that's development, marketing, the support teams, the platform teams. Everybody comes together to make this thing happen and go off, hopefully without a hitch. And so far, we've been doing all right, other than some stuff in the room here. You know who you are. They had to know. But doing Citizencon is not always the easiest thing for our developers. You might not assume this, but most game developers are not social butterflies. They tend to like to sit quietly in the dark at their computers, like little goblins, and just make digital virtual worlds like this. And then I come in all happy and like, hey, you want to be on video? And they're like, no.
It better be fucking brief, I'll tell you that.
And I'm like, it's in your contract. And they're like, oh yeah. So we thought, we usually do it behind the scenes afterwards, but we thought we'd do a little bit of it here. The folks in the editorial department put together a brief montage of some of the more candid moments from the filming of Citizencon over the last couple of weeks. So we're going to spend 2 minutes and take a look at that. Let's see what they put together.
How many Citizencons have you performed in now?
Performed? Just the one. Nope, my first one.
One last year.
2. A few.
8 or 9?
Maybe 9 or 10?
Never.
Man, I don't know, man. Did you like doing it?
Yes, I was completely terrified.
It was good, a bit stressful.
The first live one, I was a mess.
Weird combination of going from insane highs to insane lows.
Live ones.
Because?
It's over.
The live ones are pretty special.
Pre-samp's always fun, but the live events are special, aren't they?
Remember we were at that weird crack house in Ancos?
Right.
I like the live ones.
Crack house.
I mean, I love these digital ones. These are the best.
Every time I've done it, it has been a digital one, and I'd like to do one on stage.
Is it because you have a restraining order against you, or?
Didn't know if I was going to be sick, if I was going to lose my stomach.
How hard is it to keep your eyes open on stage?
That's not a problem with the lights. They're kind of, I'm realizing through this sentence that I'm closing my eyes as I speak. Do I do that a lot?
I am a very shy individual, so this is me just trying to get out of my shell.
Getting the crowd to react to the ideas that we've been working on for so long.
We can react. Watch. Everybody, yay!
Here's the chef, y'all.
I can feel your passion from here.
Cut the camera. Counting you down in like 30 seconds. I'm like, do I stand up? Do I sit down? Do I drink? Do I not? Do I talk?
This will be the best one yet. That's right. Because it's nice and short.
Is this all supposed to be usable content? Because I could be different.
No. Of all your nicknames, why is Moist Master your favorite?
Oh, there's
I think you mean least favorite, and because it has the word moist in it. I mean, come on.
We'll give you a new nickname by the end of this.
Sounds good. Could do
All
with
right,
one.
Let's get started. So for those of you watching at home or at the watch parties, you're like, why are we showing that? I put that in there because I'm eternally grateful for all of the CIG staff and developers who take the time to appear on these things, whether it's ISE, SCL, Citizencon, walk on stage, be pre-recorded. It's not the easiest thing for everybody. And on behalf of the community, if I can speak for them in this regard, I want to say thank you for participating in these things each and every year that we have them. Now, let's wrap things up here. So, let's see, how do I want to do this? At this point, we've only got one major story left to tell. But before we do that, we wanted to do one more check-in on something we started last year. Last year, Rich Tyler took the stage and presented his roadmap to 1.0. And we didn't want to go an entire year without talking to the senior game director himself to get his update on that 1 year later. So we're going to throw it to him, and we're going to go to our last segment, and when we come back, we'll say our goodbyes. And if you're at a watch party, it's time to get... I was going to say... that's not a word I can say on the camera. Let's just go. Let's just throw it back to me. Go to me from 1 week ago. Last year, Senior Game Director Rich Tyler took to the stage and revealed our plan for 1.0. Now, before we end this year's Citizencon Direct, we wanted to take a few moments and follow up on that reveal from last year, to do as we've done today and look at the year ahead. So, Rich, thanks for taking the time to join us.
Well, you're welcome.
All right, so we're going to jump right into it. Everybody knows the only constant in game development is change. So I'm going to ask you outright, what's changed about the road to 1.0?
Well, fortunately, nothing. It still remains our North Star. The team is busy working towards that goal in the background, and every patch this year has moved us towards that goal. And if you haven't watched the Star Citizen 1.0 presentation from last year, I highly recommend you do so, because everything in it is still relevant as of today.
You mentioned every patch this year has moved us towards that goal, so I want to dig deeper into that. We've done, at this point, 9 releases in this year, more than any year prior. How does each one of these not just sit as their own moment in time, but move us forward on this road to 1.0?
Well, last year I discussed the framework of 1.0, how all those complex systems can tie together. And one of the core aspects of that was the main story, which became the spine of the universe, which brought all of the locations, mission givers, guilds, and all the different areas of the game to the players. Now, what I didn't talk about from last year was all of the content that was going to support that framework, add the flesh to the bones, should we say. And I think that's where this year has moved us towards that goal. If you think about previous events of previous years, they've generally been locations that we've put into the verse, but they've been transient. We've taken them away, like Siege of Orison or Zenithreat. We've added them to game, and then they've been moved away. And I think with the addition of the patches this year, when you look at the Hathor facilities, Onyx facility, these are permanent additions to the world that not only have their own story, as when we release them with the patches, but they'll also become points of interest and areas that the larger 1.0 narrative will utilize.
Since we're on story, I'm gonna stay with this here. Since we launched the PU back in 2015, it's always been this sandbox where players can do what they want. They can bring their own story to the verse, and that'll never change. But how important is it that we also build this concurrent narrative of our own, this crafted experience, if you will, alongside that?
Well, we're trying to create a living, breathing universe. And that includes both the player stories that you mentioned, that they can go and enjoy and create their own memories
The armor
together.
isn't available right
but
now.
it also means that we want to have a universe that gives back. We want
not in game.
areas and locations to feel like they're believable and real life locations. And if you look throughout this year and the patches that we've worked towards, we've had an overarching story that's moved from patch to patch, and we're going through some of those cycles right now. We've also been introducing mission content that has fully voiced dialogue and facial animation, which allows us to inject some of the meaning and the why to what you are doing as a player. And I think story is integral to Star Citizen as a connective tissue that ties all of these different complex systems together, because it takes players on that journey throughout the game.
To see this big turn this year to start injecting story into the verse, I think people are really responding to it. So everybody knows, and you mentioned just now, that this year we changed a whole lot about how we operate and how we release things. How do you think that's gone?
I think it's gone very well. I think if the mantra that I've always been pushing this year at the beginning of January was patch always goes. And I think this year has seen a different development strategy for how we've been moving the game forward. That's where this different strategy has allowed us to really take a wider approach. And we also have to remember that Star Citizen is played by tens of thousands of players every day. And while we have lofty future goals, we still have to make decisions right now that make the game fun for the people that are playing it all the time, playing it as their daily game. If you look at previous years, we've had to hold a patch back, we've had to make concessions, mainly due to around a feature may not have been ready or right to go into there.
There were 3 months, 4 months, sometimes 5 months between patches.
Exactly, and I don't think that's good for anybody. I don't think it's good for the players. I don't think it's good for the development team. I think it's better to have regular cadence of drops. One good example is this year for A Line of Mine. People probably don't know, but A Line of Mine, when you turned on the laser, it was actually supposed to reveal the sandworm Valakar. And I played it, and it didn't hit the quality that I wanted to go into the game. So we changed, and I took it out, and I made that decision alongside Chris and Erin, and we've held that back, and we're going to work on that towards a future patch. But I think definitely the more regular cadences has had the multiple benefits, and like I said, I want to dispel a myth right here, right now. Like, features are still being worked on quite heavily in the background, from radar and scanning in FPS, the new quantum, to inventory, engineering and crafting, and all of those features are going to be coming very, very soon for players to get their hands on. And, you know, I'm going to be honest, I'm not going to sit here and say that if I was to go back to the start of the year, I would hope that we would have released more features. But I also think every decision we've made this year has been through the lens of making the live experience as stable and as good as possible.
Absolutely. All right, so that's a bit about the year before. And the year before has been, I've said this before, I've said it internally, I've said it out there, I'm gonna say it right now again on camera. I think this has been the best year of Star Citizen ever, and I'm willing to look right into the camera and say that. The player numbers are up, engagement numbers are up, the length of the play sessions are up, bug numbers are down, 30K is gone. It's been a solid year. But Citizencon isn't Citizencon without talking about the future, so I want to move us to the future. We've talked about story, we've talked about this more diegetic, immersive universe and adding voice lines and stuff like this. But where do we go from here? Obviously that continues, but what more are we going to do to make this universe seem alive and real and breathing?
I think the biggest thing is to start having that conversation be two-way. So if you think about this year, like you mentioned, we've been having fully voiced NPCs, but a lot of those missions and those NPCs, they're talking to you, they're talking at you. Right. You don't get to talk back to them. Now, obviously, you get to interact with them through your actions. You get to go and do their mission, and you get to move that along, and then they talk to you again. But it's a one-way conversation.
We're missing that conversation wheel.
Exactly. The next part would be physical mission givers. That's something that we're going to be working towards very soon, with Battaglia being the first one coming back in the verse. And just to be clear, we will be bringing all the mission
Feels
givers
like this is
eventually
going to take
back,
up more
and we
time
want
to get
them
out of
be
your ship to go
an
walk and go
integral
talk to
part
somebody.
of the verse and the story that players go and enjoy. We want the locations to be brought to life, and as we mentioned last year, we want to have interactive scenes that you can go and be part of. And obviously the full end goal is towards, to have cinematic stories in the game, and that is what we're going to be pushing towards. Everything we do, every decision we make, is through the lens of moving us closer to 1.0. It might sometimes be difficult to see why those decisions have been made at the time they've been made, but rest assured that Star Citizen 1.0 is still our North Star. That's what we're still aiming towards, and that's what we're going to be moving forward with every patch next year as well.
I'm remembering when mission givers were first introduced, they sometimes became a bottleneck. Is there a role in instancing, which we learned about earlier today? Is there a role for instancing in that, in helping with mission givers?
Yes, partially. It will be one mechanism that will allow us to have players go to their own individual area of the verse, have that conversation, and then go and continue on into the open world environment. So I think that's where, when we look at instancing provides us one tool that allows us to remove that bottleneck and provide a more seamless experience.
Happy you said that, because that's one of our last topics I want to get to, is how we reconcile instancing with the persistent universe. Like, for the last 10 years now, we've been building this giant, seamless, persistent universe where everybody can come in and play together. And it would be easy to have a first instinct reaction to the idea of instancing and say that's antithetical to everything that Star Citizen is. But you mentioned last year these 3 pillars of building Star Citizen in the PU, and I want to know, you said nothing changed, but I want to ask you about this specifically. What are those 3 pillars again, and how does instancing fit within the greater design of Star Citizen?
So the 3 pillars I mentioned last year were open world.
Such fucking monkeys.
That's just
Everybody
like
doesn't wanna hear
the
you
missions you
developer
love
shit. It's
today.
just like,
You can go and
give me
play,
my
there's other players
dopamine
there,
hit
and you can go and enjoy that together. Then we have instancing, which I'll talk about more, but similar to municipal works that
I mean,
we've
what
talked
they're
about
doing right
previously.
now is
And then the
actually
third
setting the stage
pillar was
for
dynamic content, which would be content that's generated by the
instancing will allow
activities of
base
the players.
building.
And I think it's very easy to become myopic around one specific
I am
thing
scared of
when
instancing.
we're talking about it
I
a
really
lot.
am.
When it's the next stage of our
bases aren't going to
development.
be instance,
And I think
though,
you
are
could
they?
reverse it.
I
If
hope
we'd have
not.
made a game that was all instance, and then I'd come on camera and said, hey guys, we're going to start doing it open world.
not yet.
It would be like, oh, is the game changing? Are we doing open world now? Is open world the new, North Star that's going to take us this way? And it's
when
not.
you sign
It's
on,
just
that you
one
can
more
make,
tool that's
make
going to
your
allow us to
base
offer
available, because
different
like
and dynamic
imagine
experiences
like
for players to go
someone
engage
from
in.
the UK
Now,
when
when
you're
I talk
asleep
about
just blowing up
instancing,
your base.
Instancing
no one's
isn't
around to defend it.
always what you'd imagine.
we know
It's
that
a
all too well.
Solo instance experience
kind of
where
the point.
it's only just you. We're going to have
What if
some
we
different
want to attack
versions
a
of
UK
instances.
base?
Some are
UK
going to be
player.
closed instances,
And,
which
so
will
it
be
goes both
like
ways.
the new player experience.
That's why
You'll
they
be
need
able
to
for you
have
go in by yourself,
NPCs, auto
for us to
turrets,
teach you the
defenses that you
ropes
can set up,
in a
stuff
safe
like that.
environment, so that you can understand how to play
Guildmates.
the complex
Yeah,
game that we've
Guildmate.
made. But we'll also have open instances, like a cantina or a bar, where we might say, hey, we only want 50 people to come in here because we've got mission givers and we've got other NPCs for you to talk to, and you would just walk in and it would be seamless. You wouldn't know that there was an instance, you're not going to get a loading screen, you would just seamlessly walk into that location, it would be full of other players and NPCs, and you can go and enjoy the content. And that's, I think, something that instancing is going to provide us. It's going to give us a tool to offer different dynamic content, or curated content, as I'd say. It allows us to create experiences that are different to the open world experiences that we've already made. And it's not to say that we won't continue our open world development or only do instance content. It's going to be a mix. And like I said, this is one of the pillars that will move us towards 1.0. We will eventually work on dynamic content that will move us towards 1.0. And all 3 of those pillars will interweave to create the full Star Citizen experience.
All right, so we've hit a lot of the bigger topics, the feature work, engineering, and FPS crafting coming to tech preview soon, stuff like this. We've talked about instancing and how that's going to work within the universe. But I want to ask you this one last big one. It's very easy to say Star Citizen is this kind of game and that kind of game. Those of us who spend our days making it know better. It's an everything game. It's everything we can make it game. It just is. But at the core of this is still spaceships. That life of spaceships. What more can you tell us about spaceship gameplay in the future? What can you give us? What can you tee up for us to look forward to for those of us who are really into Star Citizen for the spaceships?
Our intentions going forward are to make sure that every ship or ship archetype that you acquire has a role and has content that you can go and enjoy in the universe. For example, right now I know that we're working on more robust mining missions, more robust salvage missions. We're going to be working on refueling missions. And we want to make sure that each and every one of the ships has a purpose and has a reason to exist in the game. That's from the smallest Argo MPUV, as well as ground vehicles, all the way up to the large capital ships. We want to give them purpose. And I think it's something that we are absolutely aware of. We want to make sure that we're building that spectrum of content to allow players to go and engage in. And I think 2026 is going to be a very good year for Star Citizen. And I think there's going to be something that's very interesting.
I deployed the armor.
Something that a lot of people have been waiting for.
That's pretty sweet.
But rather than me spoil it, I'll let Ian and the team go into the details on that.
He had a twinkle in his eye.
It's a blast shield,
Ian,
yeah.
take it away.
What are you talking about? Base building.
If it's not base building, I'm gonna lose my mind.
No, a space for space dip. Well, maybe, or a space for space, right?
So the persistent universe has existed for over 10 years now. During that time, we've created lots of gameplay systems, we've added hundreds of locations, we've added lots of mission activities for different purposes.
I think it's supposed to increase the
cargo, mining,
just the general front-end
HP. For combat
HP.
ships, the only thing you've been able to do is fight other combat ships. In 2026, this changes. We're going to be delivering a spaceship focused activity space which incentivizes the use of different gameplay roles. These are going to be scenarios where you're going to have to plan and strategize and create operational tactics to overcome your objective. So what you're going to see is very early. It's early in the pipeline process and it's going to come online about mid next year. But we're really excited about the content we're creating. So we want to share with you a super early look at what we're building in a space we're calling Tactical Strike Groups.
Tactical Strike.
The People's Alliance are still trying to get to the bottom of what this new faction is really doing in the Nix system.
They've sent a capital ship to check out a station and run into more than they can take care of themselves.
Unfortunately, that team came under attack and members of their groups were taken hostage. Now they've reached out to Intersec, who've reached out to you to help recover the pilot. Of course, it's unwise to do this alone, so you'll need to put a team together to attack the station.
Oh, I bet you it's matchmaking for a big-ass mission.
Asteroid, kind of broken asteroid, and on this you will have this space where you will find 3 big arms. You will see at the middle, you will have this big energy core. Everything here has a purpose. It's not just for the show, just something nice to see.
You'll see a People's Alliance-owned Idris that's just on the outside, and it's going to be getting harassed by this unknown faction that you have met before.
So your first objective here is to clear out the ships. There'll be waves of these ships, so this is where you want your light or your medium or your heavy fighters, whichever playstyle you prefer.
So while one part of your group is dealing with the fighters, now it's time to actually assault the station.
This station has been outfitted to resist all of the obvious way of attacks.
Somehow they've incorporated Vanduul capital ship killing turrets. These turrets ignore small fighters, and they have the firepower to destroy even the biggest capital ships.
Oh shit.
This is a raid.
Your Polaris.
Yeah, oh, that's what it is. Yeah, it's like a raid.
This is
this is
the
like
idea
gameplay
of these
testing for
is so we can
space
sort of
stations, like player
make it
space
so we can
Yeah,
mix
that
up that
too.
ship combat and not
Yeah,
everyone can just
Auto
run into the
turrets
ship
and stuff.
win just
Stuff
because
only
they have
focusing
the
on
bigger
capital
ship.
ships. This is.
Yeah, this is play testing. This is literally us gonna be able to play test.
You have to send out your best pilots to navigate the superstructure and take down anything that may damage your bigger ships. So
It's
at this
definitely
point
a
you're
raid.
thinking, destroy the turrets, but it's not that easy. This
But this'll
turret
be in Nyx, so I
has
wonder if
shields that
this'll
you've never
be,
seen before. It
like,
won't take any
fully-
kind of damage. Your missiles
like,
won't do anything.
I don't know
Your
if this will
lasers
be
won't do
instanced.
anything. Your
I think
ballistics
it
won't
is
do anything to them. But like everything, they do have a weakness.
This is
I
most
love
likely.
that we have
to cut the
Polaris
power
and Idris
to their
colors.
shields. To do that, that actually brings you to your first objective.
So org
the power
gameplay,
relays.
is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah.
So the exterior has a number of power relays
I like
that
it.
are holding the doors closed so that you can't get in.
You have to find them, you have to target them, and you have to destroy them. But it may not be as easy as it seems.
Here's our first wrinkle. The power relays have their own shields that are resistant to energy-based attacks.
We know how much you like using laser repeaters, but so do these guys.
Alright, this is pretty dope.
They're giving purpose to my fucking retaliator.
Capital ship
Let's
can't
go.
get close enough because of the turrets.
So ships with explosive or ballistic ordnance will be needed here. That's torpedo ships like your Retaliator or Gladiator, or even another fighter with ballistics loadout. That's going to take you a while.
Yeah, we know how this goes.
Once the power relays have been taken down, the station opens up.
And this is where things get really cool.
Now it's time for you to fly your ship inside the station.
Yeah, you, in your ship, fly into the superstructure of the
fighter
station.
boys.
How cool is that?
Oh, that's cool. That's
I feel like
fucking
this is
cool.
a proud dad moment. Thank you, Jared.
We're just going to call it what it is. It's a trench run.
Oh, good luck. Good luck.
A trench run. That's fucking cool, though.
That's sick.
This is fire.
This is a raid. This is literally a raid.
You'll see cooling units along the sides that you'll need to take out.
Fucking fighter pilots do the fucking trenches.
Oh, that's
There's
crazy.
3 arms to the station that have these trenches. You'll fly into one, and then there'll be a core in the center, and then you'll move out into the trench.
You're either gonna do it multiple times, or you need to bring friends.
At this point, the core is still protected, so these are essentially strafing runs.
Oh,
There are
shit.
objects to avoid.
shit.
You're going to have to
That's
be able to
fucking
dodge.
crazy.
You're going to have to move quickly. You need an agile ship.
Because the shield generator that you're targeting is emitting lots of distortion
Did you
damage.
say L21? Is that what you just said?
Eclipse bombers.
So once the
Pilots
cooling
are
units are
fucking
out,
wrecked
that
right now.
exposes the core to overheat, which
Oh,
means they'll be an attack from the inside and also from exhaust ports on the outside of the station.
Spaceship destined raid.
That's exactly what it is.
Armored and just takes a whole lot of damage.
Yeah, there's from the middle. Fucking fireballs chasing you around town when you have to.
It's 100% a Destiny raid, but like at a much larger scale.
Once the power core goes down, the turrets come down, and then the capital ships can get closer.
Whoa, whoa.
Why is that important? Because during all of this, you spend a lot of ammo and munitions and ballistics, and you're going to want to top up.
Yeah,
This is where we're gonna get our new feature in: ship hangar refueling and rearming. You're gonna be able
that's
to
dope.
land in the hangar of select ships and be able to use the same interface as you are right now at stations to refuel and rearm.
It's specifically for
Yeah,
ships like
rearming
the Idris
ballistics
and
and
the
shit.
Polaris and other ships that are designed to have other ships land inside them.
Of course, it'll be more than just those 2 ships, and you'll find out more once we get closer to release. But this is a really important feature that we're really excited to get out.
If you're not bringing your own Idris, the People's Alliance has an Idris there that can provide
Liberator,
a safe
perchance?
port in a storm, allow you to set back up and head back out.
And it's a good thing that you've rearmed and refueled too, because now another group of ships is coming to attack the People's Alliance Idris.
Wait, what?
In
Yes!
Oh, you see that? You see the paladin? There's a paladin.
Oh my god. So you have to drop shift
So while the fighters are protecting the Idris, what's happening at the station? Well,
Ground crew, baby.
Now you've got to take
yeah, look at your
a
right
fire
side.
team in. You've got to land. You've got to fight through an onslaught of FPS enemies that
Props to
belong
the
to this
animator for that one.
unknown faction, and you've got to open a hangar door which will allow you to release captives from the station. After you've opened the doors and that person's taken off, you've just got to make sure they get to safety.
Yup, there it is.
Let's go.
So at this point,
Let's
all of this
go.
sounds pretty simple, but there's
Three-way
an additional
combat,
complication.
So up until this point, it's just been you versus the enemies in the station. But the enemies in the station have their own enemies.
The fucking Vandal, dude. Oh my god.
Will come in and wreak havoc on everything.
And they're not going to discriminate between you and the station. They're out for blood. When you alert the Vandal by destroying the power core that the station's now vulnerable, you're on a time limit.
No way.
Vandal are coming, they're gonna come hard, they're gonna keep coming.
No
and they're gonna
way.
have one hell of a
No
fight.
way! It's a flip. Oh my god.
What the fuck was that?
That was a kingship.
That's a kingship, bro.
No, that's not. I don't think that's a king ship. It's a capital ship for sure, but I don't think it's the king ship.
I don't
Holy
want to be
shit!
around it.
Tactical strike groups. I'm personally
Dude, that might not
so
even be,
invested
like,
in this.
anywhere near
So
viable
throughout
or anything.
2025,
That might just
we
be an
created a variety of content. Some of it was very focused.
I don't
on
think they'll sell
FPS combat.
that
So
ship. You'll
personally,
probably have to get it from Wicklow or
arriving at
something.
more vehicle
Like a Wicklow
Oh,
version of a
sorry.
Vandal
very
capital
important
ship.
to me.
I
This
don't
is
wanna
a
be anywhere near
defining
that
statement
radius.
that I want to do in
Fighting.
2026. We're a spaceship game. There are prized possessions. To the objects we fall in love with. This is the content we want to create, which
Idris
creates
pilots
scenarios and
very
roles for you
I
to
was
use those
wondering
features.
if they were going to be
We
able
won't
to
get
pull
to
off
all
raids
roles
in
initially,
this game.
but we should see this as
And
a landmark
just based on what they
position
have
where
there,
we
if
can
it actually
see
works,
a
damn, that
gameplay
shit looks
space
fun
which
as fuck.
incentivizes the
That was
use of
crazy.
different ships and scenarios to clear objectives
So in
and
total, that's
complete
like 4
missions
different things.
in a variety
That is
of
a
roles.
huge Vandal thing.
And in the
That
future,
is the playtest
we can
for,
use
like,
this to
player
expand.
spaceships.
So I hope you're all
Rearming,
just as
refueling on
excited
Idris,
as
like,
I am
carrier
for tactical
ships.
strike
Like,
groups.
That's a
They're
lot
gonna
of
be
different
fantastic.
content right there for that. That they just showed us.
That's fucking great.
Damn.
Spaceship motherfucking raid.
You know what?
Was that
would be
the
good in
driller?
attack?
Okay.
Would be good in a tactical strike group. Perseus.
That was a Vandal driller, I believe.
Fucking Perseus enters on Suicide Watch. That's all I know.
Why do you still have the puppet?
The
Paladin,
code is gonna run.
the paladin is
John,
open
come
for
home.
now.
All right, so tactical
Let me know what else
strike
happens.
groups.
Later.
You know, it's been a long road for the last 10 years. The PU's been around. We've done lots to build stuff for mining ships and for salvage ships. And as Rich said, we're currently building out even more for those. And our first refueling missions coming online in 2026. But combat missions. Oh, hi, Aaron Roberts. Aaron Roberts.
Aaron Roberts.
But finally having enough of the foundation in place that we can begin to build real spaceship operations. Hesitate, in any other MMO they'd call dungeons.
that guy said
It's really exciting for me, and that's why we're ending the show this year with that. So yeah, that's been Citizencon Direct.
Not one thing
Thank
about
you
base building,
for taking
though.
the
Not
time
directly.
to share this with us. Again, this is just a glimpse at some of what's coming in 2026. I've seen the Twitch chat and the YouTube chat like, "Oh, you're spoiling everything." I promise, we ain't. So before we let you go, that's it for me. Thank you so much for tuning in. And as with every Citizencon, the last word shouldn't be mine. It should belong to our founders and CEO. So take it away, Chris Roberts.
I hope you enjoyed this glimpse into some of what the team is cooking for the near future. Of course, we're not going to spoil everything that's currently in progress, and many features we haven't discussed today are in active development, like base building, social, and trade tools that are very much a priority. These, along with bringing the final polished features from Squadron 42 into the persistent universe, will make next year the most exciting yet for Star Citizen.
From Epsilon 3.
Finally, I want to extend a heartfelt thank you to everyone at CIG for working so tirelessly and with so much passion to deliver something that
Probably
is
has an
already
actual
special
890
and will
jump
only get
modeled
more so
yacht.
as we continue. And of course, to all of you for making all this possible with your support and feedback. We couldn't do this without all of you, something that I and the team appreciate every day. We are very lucky to be allowed the time and the money to build a game of all of our dreams. Something that is only more apparent as the video game business becomes more monolithic.
You have the money, I don't know
We are
about
one of
the
the
time.
few large independents left standing, and there is no way we would be allowed to dream as big as we are on an original game and take the time to achieve that dream if we were part or funded by any of the few remaining mega game companies. So
Look
thanks.
at the cost for the
And I look
GTA
forward
6.
to seeing you all in the
The
verse
time
this
that
coming
it
year.
take it's going to take to deliver that, plus the budget is about like close to the same.
Yep.
Yeah, just be glad that Rockstar doesn't own this. We'd never ever see Star Citizen ever.
They've made how many games that are complete and released? Why did you say
I was
that?
about to say.
Because the development of think of the development of GTA 6 versus the development like.
But think about how much money they spent in GTA 6 too, though.
Right.
It's about the same as they've spent.
Yeah,
I mean, just in water, they've
it's
spent
not that
like
much bigger.
No,
half a billion.
they showed it was $2 billion that they spent.
Yeah.
God, GTA 6.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
knew it was all over
And
a few hundred
10
million.
years of development and like 10 years of development. So
Imagine spending that much money just because you know that you're gonna fucking 3x, 4x your money.
Well,
I'm
yeah.
just scrolling through
For
this.
sure.
Perseus, 0707, like a lot of 07s, but Perseus.
And not a word about
Perseus,
Squadron 42.
I'm okay with
He
that.
did mention a very small amount, Bob. He said he wasn't going to talk about it.
Yeah,
Oh,
they
okay.
also said that they're trying to get some of the ships that are finished for Squadron 32 and kind of port them over. And
I'll
that's
hook you up
kind
in
of
a
what
minute,
the ones
huh?
that the Stinger is their first
Bye-bye.
port from Squadron 42.